All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League 4 Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft, here with their host Blackjack and my co-host Foxy and our admin Eisen, as we are here for the first day of the division stages for season 4 of this Pro League. 2021 will see its first division day here today, and it's going to be Division 3 day 1 to kick us off right after the qualifiers. And, in that mood of right after the qualifiers, we're going to be going into Wolfram Esports taking on Team Heat, the team to make it in right towards the end. Let's join the players right now on the map of Oregon, as they will be in the ban phase, deciding which operator to ban. And to start off, we have the Thatcher ban, the ye old favorite, as we like to say here at this Pro League. It's a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen, a wonderful evening, all things considered, fairly chilly, at least on my side of the country. And, I'm always thankful for that. A bit of good weather goes a long way in making it these excuse me, in making these casting sessions just a little bit more enjoyable. But enough about that. Of course, we have the Thatcher and the Nomad band coming out from both Wolframite and Team Heat. And now from WLF, we're going to have a Kaid band coming in as well. Interestingly enough, both Moroccan operators taken care of by WLF's side. Nomad and Kaid are gone, while Thatcher is the ban from the side of Team Heat. They're the ones who will be banning the last defender on today's map as well, and it's going to be the Wamai, ever so classic in terms of Oregon's bans. Thatcher, Nomad, Kai, then Wamai, not really, anything too much to go into in terms of explanations. We all know why these bans exist. You want defenders to be able to keep their utility, not to have them disabled for an extended period of time. Thatcher ban. You want to be able to open up a certain number of flanks and runners that Nomad can shut down. Nomad ban. You want to still be able to get rid of hatches and whatnot in lieu of a Thatcher ban without using the Maverick. Kaid ban. And of course, Wamai, because attackers want to keep a check on how many things they have in terms of throwable utility. The Wamai ban. With all that being said, let's have a look at both the rosters here in the lobby for us today. From the side of the attacking team, Wolframite Esports, we've got Hypnotest, Dyro, interesting name right there, Vergix, Steel Shot, and Proxnav, or Pronav, depending on your persuasion. And from the side of Team Heat, we've got Nadia, Shrit, Oxidane, Cypher, AMST, and Night Soul. The first round will be underway, and I've kept the man from the mic long enough. For Foxy, how do you do on this fine evening?
First things first, Blackjack. It's good to see MST come out on the battlefield again. Didn't get to see a whole lot of him when it came to the qualifiers, but here he is taking command and control and just having to contribute to his team. Just in general, Team Heat is here, and it's good to have them. Let's see what they can bring out in this division, because that's exactly what we're here to find out. Nadia with the smoke pick once again. He's going to get all of that reconstruction and nice and easy. Vergix with the Zofia. We've got Hypnotist running the Ace as well. Speaking of hard breach, though, we've got the Hibana and the Ace, so that's not really going to be a whole lot of issues for the side of the attackers getting the breaches done. As we'll be seeing the action phase commence and just some standard stuff happening. We'll be seeing Vergix make his way and just deploy some claymores over to the flank areas, flank sites, everything that's just very predictable that you would expect coming out from the side of the defense right now. But Team Heat, it's not a predictable team, so we are almost able to find a kill here. Won't be able to do so. The white cover is exactly what's there, and that's why right now it's just going to come down to this stall point of exchanging some pre-fires and getting all of this drone work done and dusted. That's what we're here for. That's going to be the first priority for the side of the attack as well. While Team Heat right now still a little busy into getting more information where the position of these attackers are, where they're happening to converging on, and where we'll be seeing them making the push happen. Ashrit is still playing alone on site. He's got more than enough support in and around him. So does not look like he's got a whole lot, but he definitely has Night Soul and Cypher just watching out the entirety of the trophy room, or rather the entirety of the bedroom for him. MSC watching this angle if somebody decides to walk in from the window, but there'll be nobody yet. We're getting to see this attacking phase done quite, at least on the ratio, quite slowly, but hey, at least they're still getting the work done. Everything that they intend to use is being used. it's just not too fast, or rather, the pacing is just a little off for my liking. We're hitting the 1 minute mark. Let's see what they happen to unfold.
Interestingly enough, I believe we saw four attacker bodies stacked up towards the master bedroom balcony. I'm not sure if that's too advisable, all things considered, but Praxnav will prove me wrong to find one from that armory hallway, taking it down Night Soul. First big drop comes in, and it's Goyo, but AMST, he doesn't want the breach to go down. At least he doesn't want it to be too accessible for the attackers. Goes for an aggressive play. Can't find one, unfortunately. Vergix down White Stairs, going to take care of the Banshee, just to make sure that he doesn't get peaked. But the AMS team almost went for it. Unfortunately, couldn't get the kill, but it won't matter as the Jaeger comes in, takes one, gets refragged by Proxnav, who gets his double. 4 versus 3 as the side push is coming in. Wolfer might have man advantage, but time is slowly ticking away. Gas canters are going off, and one kill will be confirmed. That's AMST, but Proxnav's on a triple. He's been down. No, that's Steel Shot to be downed as well. Kill confirmed. 2 versus 2, 2 versus 1, and 2 versus none. Dyro comes in with double. Ashrit and AMST fall, as we will see in the instant replay. A good beginning for the side of Wolframite Esports, all things considered, even though, that push could have been just a little bit better had Zofia gotten her way on White Stairs. It was a good flank by the Jaeger. Unfortunately, there was only so much he could do before Proxnav shut him down. That triple kill from the Ash most certainly helped, and that rather lengthy intel gathering phase, just to make sure they knew what they were getting into, helped Wolframite quite a bit. Commendable drone work. Unfortunately, Team Heat could not take advantage of the timer ticking away in their favor. And that's why we're going to see a 1-0 scoreline going into basement laundry and supply room. Instant site change from the side of Team Heat on round 2.
Well, we'll be moving on to round two, and with a very good first round take for the side of Ultimate Esports, something that they'll be very glad to walk away with. It's going to be the pushback for the side of Team Heat as well. They'll push back to the side of Laundry and A. So it's good to see that the change of side has come up. I was expecting Team Heat to still stick with six doms. Just happens to be one of those more comfortable of sides, but I guess Team Heat wants to keep the ball rolling. They want to keep bringing that little dynamic that they like to bring for themselves, and that's exactly what I'm getting to see them do here. Night Soul, he's back on the Goyo, and once again, coming back to the usage of Goyo on a map like Oregon, I really love it. It's just out of a personal outlook as well. Goyo just happens to be such a huge, influential operator, just in general. You happen to see that into play. It's definitely interesting to see what kind of tactics and what kind of strategies will be brought out from this team. Right now, not much though. We've still got the smoke roaming above with the action phase underway already. It's not the best of things you want for yourselves. A possible rush in onto the top floor could turn out to be very fatal, but no, not Yeshwith knows better. He's going to fall back. You still have Truxnov making his way on the side of blue bunkers. Once again, the push is going to come down awfully slow just from the looks of it. Wolfram Esports, they like to take their time. They like to push just slow and steady, and they like to win rounds. That's exactly what they're here for. And just from how bizarre it might look, with four men pushing on the single side, it's still Wolfram Esports' attack strategy that is happening to dismantle the entirety of Team Heat. So as long as it's working, it's not bad, honestly. Your Cypher on the flank is nothing too clumsy, or rather nothing too flashy yet come out from both these teams. That's because both of them very focused on just getting information. Speaking of which, the Prox now does happen to pick a fight against AMST. That's going to be the solo killer. He's still not got a whole lot of commotion happening, but hey, these pre-fires could turn out to be fatal for either of them upon whoever happens to win it. Still got the fight coming. Proxman will win that. AMST does go down eventually though. And got more canisters being deployed on the side of blue bunkers. Is going to come down to be very clumsy for the side of Team Heat if they don't play this right. Wolframite Esports already working on dismantling the side of the defense once again, one by one. We got Prox now playing awfully close. The blue bunker push will come in any moment now. And here goes not Yashwik. That's the push from the Yash. The triple kill comes in. And just look at this man pop off. The Goyo does get the refrag though, but the damage has already been done. A 4 versus 2, make that a 1 versus 4. The only last man surviving, who won't survive either. Wolframite Esports once again with a very slow but a very calculated attack run coming out from them. And that was just a cleanup. Oh, look at that shot coming out from Hypnotis towards the end as we happen to take a look at that in the instant replay and proceeding to round 3. Quite the round, honestly. Once again, Wolframite Esports just happening to take this so casually just from the approach of it. And I say casually because they're making it look so effortless. It definitely is not. But hey, that's 2 rounds already on the board. Let's see who round three happens to go to.
I have to say, Foxy, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Wolfram Esports, especially compared to what we saw from them in the previous season, where they were unfortunately a lot messier and a little bit more all over the place than what we have right now. What we have right now from Wolframite is a very coordinated, well-toned push. At least they know what they're doing and they know what to execute, and they're doing it very well with almost minimal resistance from heat. It's almost as if the time they're taking to get into sight with the extended droning and setting up for just that little bit longer is just by that little bit throwing off Team Heat, if I have to speculate there. And they can't really get a handle on how Wolfmite flows because they may or may not be used to holding this late in terms of an attacker's strategy. Now, I only say that because, again, like we've mentioned time and time again in these streams, is that the whole utility meta and 20-second push, all of that was sort of addressed with Operation Neon Dawn's update patch, right? Most teams don't even do that anymore, especially in higher tiers. You see 20-second pushes every now and again, but it's no longer as prevalent as it used to be. And I think Team Heat, when they went over Wolfram Esports from the previous season, they sort of expected them to be slightly more aggressive, slightly more jumpy, but they're not. They're passive. They're playing it as if everything relies on intel. And in this case, it does. You need to know where each and every piece of utility is, at least the ones that you will be facing when you're making the push through. Unfortunately for Team Heat, this drone work has amounted to some good plays, but not in this situation. The Sledge will go down as Cypher barely escapes the gunfight against Dyro. Sledge will go down. A good first kill from the side of Team Heat. Dyro was making those plays in lieu of Pruxnav going down after the Ash got the triple kill, of course. But in this case, it won't be. It'll be down to Pruxnav to get some revenge for his teammates, and that starts to take Oxidane down here just below White Stairs. But does he know that he's there? I don't think so. And he's going to be down and taken care of. Amos, he comes in to steal the kill, actually. Unfortunate for Oxidane. But regardless, a good second kill. Two very important drops from the side of Team Heat, as those kills will have very much crippled the side of Wolfmite Esports, at least in terms of spearheading the push. With 3 men alive, it's not exactly looking too good at the minute 20 mark, as we've still got all 5 defenders alive and well.
Looks like they're starting to push back already. We're getting to see this retaliation come out from the side of the defense. 2 versus 5 into the minute remaining. Quite the place that the side of Wolfram Esports have found themselves. Looks like Team Heat, out of that desperation that they were pushed into a corner, they're able to just fight back, and they fought back really good. Look at the man count right now. It looks highly unlikely that Wolfram Esports will be able to walk away with this victory. And that's exactly what Team Heat wanted. They wanted to stop the momentum that Wolfram Esports was on, and that's what I'm seeing them do right now. Steel shot taking some more damage off of that gas canister. We've got Oxidane getting that headshot. Very sweet one as well. A very good connect that came out from the side of Meeting. He's looking to find one more. Hypnotes, though, all the while more intelligent, just holding this angle, wanting to play this passive, just able to walk away with a frag or two before the timer happens to run out. That's exactly what Wolfram Esports is doing. Buying time right now. That's something they lack. That's something they could not really bounce against or bounce with this round. Round three, quite the letdown, and there you go. The fourth kill comes in. That is, I believe, for Oxidane, and quite the round for the man alone. But hey, we got some kill steals come out from the Melusi just to add up to it. But then again, you happen to add look at the situation. It's a win for Team Heat. Most definitely it is. We'll be headed to round four. 2-1 is the score, and we've still got Wolfram Esports in the lead. Anything could happen going ahead from here, but it's good to see Team Heat able to just put in a fight, able to bounce back, and able to put up a show.
Most certainly a good show as well, all things considered, as Basement Laundry and Supply Room will be coming off once again from the side of Team Heat, this time with a round in their favor. And, the big difference for Team Heat in this previous round was down to the fact that they took the fight to Wolfram Esports. The first two rounds, they were sort of hanging back, seeing what WLF would do. You don't want to get too jumpy early against an opponent when you're playing after a couple of days. You need some time to get started yourselves. You want to see how your opponent gets started in this match as well, because you can do all the homework you want in like VOD reviews and whatnot, strategizing and all that. But even then, there's a little bit that goes into the early game adaptations, especially from Wolfram Esports. They're a team that doesn't shy away from improvising strategies on the go in a match. And Team Heat, knowing that, took a couple of rounds. And while, of course, they took a bit of a beating in both those rounds, I mean, I'm not about to mince my words here. They came back, realizing that Wolfram is playing passive to see what Team Heat would do. Team Heat decides, let's take the fight to them. And they did that in a spectacular fashion. A flawless round to come out after dismantling the attack, taking out the two spearheads, Dyra and Pucksnav, one by one. That really put the brakes on Wolframite's train. Unfortunately, it's only the early game, so anything could happen from this point out. We could see an equalizer, we could see the lead come in, and we could even be 3-3 going into roll swap, going to maximum overtime. I mean, the possibilities are nearly endless in this situation. Both teams know that, of course, and they'll be working on both of their play styles in this match. Improvisation will be required as Cypher's been droned out on second floor. Drone came through Armory corridor, so I think he assumed he'd be safe on bedroom, but no, there's somebody prone peeking right on the balcony. The shots came through there, and Cypher's gonna have to be very careful. He made a lot of noise getting into this position that he's in now, but he knows that there's somebody approaching from the hallway, and that is the Zofia, I believe, or Vergix, coming up very close right now. Is he gonna get me? Yes, he does. Cypher looks away at the wrong time, and Vergix will capitalize on that. The first member of Team Heat is down, and that is not exactly going to look too good for them. 5 versus 4 with a minute 30 remaining. WLF have plenty of time to consolidate the push from here. Team Heat also have plenty of time to come to grips with the situation.
Most definitely do. Anything could happen right now. The ball is in nobody's court, to be honest. It's not started rolling yet. We've still got the minute remaining. It definitely has turned out to be something in the favor of Wolfram Esports. It's not a substantial advantage though. A 5 versus 4. We're still staring into 60 seconds. Anything could happen. Vergix making the quick rotate all the way on the side of blue bunkers. We'll be seeing Naughty Ashwin be the first one to pick a fight against him. It's going to come down to the denial of the map control that they need to just shut down the attackers right now. Naughty Ashwin once again with very flashy plays. We're getting to see him playing the situations you usually don't find a smoke play at. But hey, he's able to bring out stuff like that for his team. He's able to add that kind of value. Why not? Oxydating, he's taken so much damage. He's got no other option but to fall back, and that's exactly what we see him do right now. He's having to watch 3 angles at once. That's too much for anybody, and with his position given away, he's really logged onto him. You look at that Oxidane, there's no way he walks away with this in a good position, but hey, he's able to walk away with the frag. Does he get the second one? No. That'll be the shutdown come up and a quick refrag that Hypnotist brought on board tracks now. He's on the side though, and he's got the entry. No, he's not. Not yet at least. A 4 versus 2 still into effect. AMST, well, guess what? Not yet. With the only one left remaining, he'll get the first frag. Can he find another? No, he won't. It'll be Dyro to shut him down, and that was the Jackal that came in for the rescue for the side of Wolfram Esports. A very clumsy attack, but hey, that's still an attack that they'll be taking over Team Heat's victory any day. That was a third round put on board, put in that match score for us. 3-1 is the score line. Wolfram Esports take lead once again, and they happen to maintain this lead quite the while throughout the first half. That's what I'm getting to see from them. Let's see what round 5 happens to unfold.
Well, one thing is for sure, while the attack itself was a bit clumsy, a little bit all over the place, it was just good enough to make sure that Team Heat were not able to take another round. No equalizers, not today. That is what I believe Wolframite is going for. And a 2-round lead going into the 5th round on the map of Oregon. More than that, on attack on Oregon is certainly quite the... it's quite the achievement, all things considered. Sure, Oregon may not be very, defender-sided like certain other maps in the competitive rank pool, and, that does sort of feed into how the attackers are playing right now. But even then, Team Heat needs to buckle up. They need to tighten up their defense. Sure, they lost one person on the roam early, but that unfortunately does not equate, not in most situations, to a round loss. We've seen teams come back from 2v5s within the last 30 seconds of a round due to slip ups from the side of attacking teams. And Team Heat certainly could have turned the situation they were in the previous round to something similar to that. Unfortunately, they weren't quite all there to make that happen. Somewhere they messed up, maybe in communication, maybe in positioning, and of course that'll be, we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail when we get to relive the moment once the match itself is over. But for the time being, Team Heat, 2 round deficit, not exactly looking too good, all things considered either. They're losing on gunfights, they're losing on positioning, but not this time. Oxidane, once again, he'll be taking the fight to the attackers. A much needed first frag because that is Pruxnav off the board. Your attack spearhead is gone. I say spearhead primarily because Prux has been doing most of the main killing in this regard. The kill streaks, the flashy ones, and all that we get to see. It's been him, but he will be shut down. Oxidant coming in once again for his team, and we are just about to cross the 2-minute mark. Wolframite 4v5.
That's right. From our esports, they've got to fight this steel shot. He's looking for his point of performance. We've not got that yet. We'll be seeing the hatch drops happen on the side of meeting though. That is still from the side of the attackers. They're still a little too much invested into seeing that nobody comes up for a flank. I wouldn't really blame them. You know, you want to make sure everything is accounted for. You've already lost your entry fragger. Praxna will not be influencing the round anymore, and that can only mean one thing. Wolframite Esports needs to make sure they decide a point of insertion. They make sure that they get the few frags on the way, because just from the looks of it, it might just be Team Heat's around to able to just bounce back into this scoreboard and into this match score that we happen to see eventually. We're still getting to see the push happen and slowly build towards the side of blue bunkers once again from the side of Wolframite. It's a very standard push of what you expect out of them. You're getting to see them take control onto the top floor first with so much man count, just completely focus on the execution phase. Finally, we have somebody going around and just able to play that lurker for them for the side of Wolframite. Maybe that might maybe just be the case for them, able to help them through this round. I don't see them do that, not yet. The nades are coming out. Oh, Cypher almost having to lose his life over there. The pre-fires from Dyro might come in any moment now onto that soft wall. It's not the best positions to play on. I still got Dyro making his way up. Oh boy, there you go. He spotted somebody. He's trying to find the blood. Not be able to. Night Souls don't want to take a lot of damage. We still got the Alda into play. Oxidate once again the same spot. This will get spotted out this time around. Definitely so. It's going to come down to a very interesting position that once again Naughty Ashwith is able to just add up to his utility from it. The canisters are coming in for the blue bunker denial. Here comes the closer from Naughty Ashwith. Field shot. They'll get one kill. No, once again, the Zofia. How can you miss that? A triple kill comes in from Oxidane, and all of a sudden he's the only one left remaining. No, that won't be. It was Ashwit, and he got taken care of once again. So Team Heat, like I said, this is a possible bounce back situation. We're getting to see them take with round 5 going to their favor. 3-2 is the score line. We might as well see the equalizer come out. But it would from my esports looking a little shaky sometimes. Just it just happens to be this. Either they happen to be on the 100 of the scale or the 0 of it. Don't see them find a middle ground somewhere, and I think that's exactly what's been lacking. What's been able to stop them from this performance. We see a 3-2, but hey, still a good score line for anybody who happens to be on attack. And a map like this, Wolframite Esports looking to push this on a 4-2. Let's see what the last round before the role swap happens to bring us.
For the most part, what I'm seeing from Team Heat is something that is causing them to lack consistency. That's something, of course, Foxy touched on. You touched on just a second ago, which is they seem to lack consistency for whatever reason. They're either just like to quote to quote you right now, they're either the full 100 on the scale or nothing, absolutely 0 on the scale itself, and something is off with the side of Team Heat. I can't exactly put my finger on it just yet. Like I said, we'll be going more in depth into why we think that is the case in Relive the Moment. But to sort of bounce off of what we're seeing on Team Heat right now is what makes me feel that their inconsistency, where it's stemming from, might just be their comms. It could be that they're getting a little bit too panicky when they're pressured, a little bit too too inclined to shout or raise their voices to get themselves heard. I mean, anybody who's played ranked in a stack knows the problem of not being of your teammates not being able to hear your callouts because somebody else is giving another callout, right? That's fairly standard. And when it comes to Division 3, sometimes we've seen that happen, whenever we talk to the players and they say that we have comms issues that we're working on. It usually, comes down to that. You want your callouts to be heard while somebody else is giving theirs as well. There needs to be some sort of, there needs to be management in that regard, if that is the case. And again, that is entirely speculation of a very specific situation that I feel Team Heat may or may not be going through for the time being. And while that could be the case, even then, rounds can still be pulled off multiple times. So there may yet be something more that Team Heat is, suffering from. Maybe their roam game, maybe their own roam game isn't exactly shaping up how they want it to be all the time. Oxidant goes down sometimes, or if it's Cypher on the roam, he goes down sometimes, and sometimes they make things work very, very well indeed. In the meanwhile, we're going to have the summer breaches going out onto that main bedroom wall. Any or all denial may or may not be shut down by Wolfmart Esports, verticalities, and whatnot. But no, the summer has in fact been denied, and Cypher's actually going to get one. That's Proxnav off the board. Even though Night Soul got down, it didn't matter. But the push-up is in. Is he going to get two? No, he's not. He gets one, but Ace ran out of bullets, and Night Soul did not. Hypnotez, unfortunate. He'll be the one to go down, even though he took Cypher off the board. There's another one for Night Soul. As the Goyo pops off, Dyro will fall. It's now a 2 versus 4. Wolframite, very unfortunate attack strategy right there. Once again, trying to go all in on that closet push, the bedroom push. But they were ran into, mostly speaking, by Night Soul, who seemed to have the exact idea on how to deny this push from the side of the attack. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Cypher did help in that situation as well, as a team flash comes out. Unfortunate for Steel Shot and Vergix, but Steel Shot himself very low. Tons of damage done by Ushrit's smoke gas canisters. And with the Goyo back there, once again, Night Soul, who's been doing some good work, all things considered. Can he find a head? Not quite. The Hibana will peek, fire some shots. Not going to get him. And gets his head taken off instead, as a beautiful shot comes out from Steel Shot, but no idea about Oxygen from down below. He's going to do some damage to Vergix as well. The Sophia fighting against all the odds will be down and will be taken care of. AMST, make sure of that, as Team Heat will be the ones to take round 6, and suddenly it's gonna be a very different situation from the one that we were in just a little while ago. Watching the instant replay right here, for the most part, it is a very, or was a very all over the place push from the side of Wolframite. They did not pace it well. They did not, go for necessary peaks. They tried to at least go all in. You had the Ace pushing in after getting the down onto one of the defenders, right there. Unfortunately, Cypher was there to cover. And who was the one down? It was Goyo, Night Soul. So had Cypher not gotten that first kill and gone for the revive, Ace had no reason to push, at least primarily speaking. But unfortunately, he did. Couldn't secure both kills, got taken down instead, and what do we end up with? A 2-for-1 trade. Cypher was the one to go down from that Team Heat, but Wolframite lost Proxnav and their Ace. Not exactly the best trade if you ask me, especially for attackers when pushing through bedroom and closet, but at the end of the day, Team Heat just played that, in most senses, better than Wolframite Esports. That's why they have a 2-round back-to-back sort of momentum-building situation for themselves in this 3-3 scoreline, but they're on the attack. That's going to make things just a little bit harder for the side of Team Heat. And Wolframite on the defense have a chance to take that momentum back, take that lead back that they had worked so hard to establish in the early game. There's a ton of work to be done from both sides, and this match is going to be kicked into high gear.
Almost definitely, but I still think Wolfram Esports, they were able to walk away with a rather better first half than Team Heat, most definitely. So you're able to be on defense on a map like this in the second half. I see you taking maximum advantage of it, and that's what any team would look forward to. With the equalized scoreline, could have been better. Once again, debatable, but hey, could have been better. 3 versus 3 is not bad to start off with the second half at. Wolfram Esports will be looking to make sure they have the stronghold, everything under their control. We saw exactly how they played attack, so that is all the while more evident to the style of defense plays we'll get to see from them, and that's exactly what I'm here to find out. Let's see what they have in store. If notice, still a little invested with all of that soft reach and reconstruction on the side. They've got so many angles opened up. Look at this. The entire map reconstructed just to able to employ all of these attackers into so much more drone work, into just making sure that everything is well accounted for, I guess. Still got Dyro holding on to the side of blue bunkers. We've not got the push happen anymore from that side, though. We've got the attackers taking place on the top floor. We've got them take the room control and take control entirety of the meeting side as well. But right now, it'll be the blue bunker push eventually happening. There we go. Somehow, we happen to come around this. Dyro still looking to play this just the way we saw Naughty should play on this spot. We got to see some really, really ballsy plays though come out from that smoke, but not this one. We're still looking to see him make this push. Anything could happen. Dyro, right now, it's just this scouting moment for both of these sides. I don't really blame him. We are not getting to see that aggression from either of these sides because right now, it's just the waiting game that they have to play. It's just going to come down to this patience play. Brax now, though, he's already picked up a fight. That's the Goyo once again. It's coming down to the Goyas performing absolutely well in this match, but he's still not got that moment of performance for either of these teams. Got Night Soul watching the flank quite interestingly. So this is something I always wanted to figure out and find out. Other teams will come around to use zero, but hey, it's the Jaeger who's taking so much damage right now, and he's actually down. Vergix will indeed go down. 30 seconds left. Anything could happen. Big being kicked into action, and Blackjack. You take the mic.
Well, with Oxidane taking the first one, Kruxnap will be the one to fall once again. Not exactly looking too good with Vergix still bleeding out. Usher's going to confirm the kill, take him down 3 versus 5. But you've got 2 downs on the side of the attack as well. Cypher will go down. Oxidane is down on the floor. He's not out, but Dyro takes him down. Nightsoul comes in to take one, but the plan is denied by Hypnotez. And now it's a 1v2. Last 10 seconds, the Maestro cannot survive. Unfortunate. Nightsoul came in from the back stairs on towards that freezer entry door and managed to get the Maestro just in time. Unfortunate. Arshit, I believe that was the man playing Maestro, as we will see in the instant replay, could not fall back in time. Excuse me right there. Hypno Tez couldn't fall back in time. And Nightsoul made more than sure of the fact that that round at least, would not go the way that the side of Wolframite wanted to. Team Heat coming off on the other side of the attack will be the ones to take the lead. More importantly, ladies and gentlemen, they are going to be the ones to continue that momentum that they began with. And that is certainly going to make things a whole lot better for them. They're on the attack, and seems to me that today could be a little bit more 50-50 between both sides on Oregon. It comes down to the match itself rather than the map to determine that, given that, we're seeing 3-3 and then attackers taking the first round post-roll swap. Team Heat certainly has woken up, it seems, even though, that last attack very late and slightly skewed on the pacing, but their gunfight potential more than made up for that. But once again, Plant was denied. Had Nightsoul not gotten that kill, there was nothing stopping Wolfram Esports from winning that. It could have been the play from Hypnotez, but it was not to be for the side of the defense. And with that, the 8th round will come in on second floor dorms and dorms main hall, with Team Heat finally leading the charge.
That's right, Team Heat somehow turned out to be an attacker influence round, just like you happen to say, Blackjack. It does come down to the match in specific and not the map. But hey, Wolframite Esports, I think they just happen to be playing with our moods right now. They happen to come out with such a good performance of good textbook attack rounds come out from the side of them in the beginning. Just not able to come out with better defensive rounds in the second half of this match. Dairo will be seeing him come out with the Melusi pick once again. It's going to be on top, and that's obviously the bomb side I'm talking about. We have the kids' jump side once again being re-employed into effect. The push will be made accordingly as well. We're getting to see the tower take already coming. Armory take shall happen in a moment as well. Night Soul just with the claymores and whatnot, everything well and accounted for. This is very standard stuff that we're getting to see from the side of the attackers. The defense, though, they'll have to work their way around this procs now. Quite interestingly, so that's not the best of operators you want on flank. But the Goyo coming in, Zero just able to watch him and spot him. This is going to get spotted quite easily, so he's going to get taken down. This is a suicide mission for the Goyo. But does that come out useful? The C4 does happen to come in, though. Will that be enough to deny that breach that they were attempting? I guess it is, and I guess that's the job already done for the side of the Goyo. No, or maybe he's just taking care of the top wall for the Maverick. So yeah, that's that's all the while more easier for the attackers to work around with the wall now. But hey, it's still something that Prax now had to try and maybe find a kill or be able to do so. But he's still able to get some stuff done. Vorjik's watching this angle, maybe with a push up from Cypher being expected. The Ash right below the main breach. That will happen on the side of Closet. And hey, Vorjik is going to spot him all right, but he's not going to win that fight. It'll be the Ash to walk away with the frag. A 4 vs 5 Prax now takes some damage as well. It's going to come down to these 50 seconds. Let's see what happens.
Unfortunate for Vergix, he had the right idea on the flank, even went to Classroom as expected to find the Ash, but Cypher came out of that gunfight stronger. He had the cover to dance around with, and Vergix ran out of bullets far too quickly. Tons of damage done to Wolframite, not enough, I would say, to the side of Team Heat, as shots are about to be fired, but Usher cannot find the guy on the attic area. Maestro, in the meanwhile, going for the pre-fire, will get taken down. Night Soul, it's that man again to start things off in terms of this push. Hypnotest has fallen. 4 versus 3. Oxidane on the other side from the side of Team Heat is the one taking care of Steel Shot. Oh, for a second there, I thought he would have gotten Night Soul, but he was not repelling anymore. 10 seconds remain. They have to go for the plant, and AMSC is doing it, but that is a very risky position that he's gone onto. Will he be denied? No, he won't. Usher's get taken out, and meanwhile, Darrow's coming in, but has he denied it? Yes, the plant has been denied, and Wolframite will be the ones to take round 8. Unfortunately, the Zero, Sam Fisher, Night Soul, as we'll see in the replay, was nowhere close enough to sight, unfortunately, to make that turn of kills happen. And once the plant was denied, that was it. That was the round for the side of Wolframite Esports. That was all they needed to do. And good patience, I have to say, all things considered, in terms of them holding within the building. It was pretty much a be-all, end-all situation for that round for the side of Team Heat. They had to get the plant off. They put themselves in that position by taking far too long. Their breaches weren't done. The utility clearance wasn't exactly the best. They were faltering in too many situations for Wolframite to not take advantage of, and they did by playing it on the seemingly on the back foot the whole time. Having a 3 versus 3 in that situation, 3 versus 4 even, it doesn't matter. If there's multiple defenders alive and your plant is going off on a very risky spot, expect that plant to be denied and the round to be lost if you are on the attacking team. Wolframite will be showing Team Heat that lesson the hard way, as it is equalized yet again between either side. 4-4 the scoreline on the 9th round, as we head into what seems more and more like a match that could go for overtime.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
That might just be the case, honestly, Blackjack. We might get to see this match go to overtime just from the unpredictability that both these sides come out with. And hey, I don't really blame them. Would love to see a overtime match come out from the side of from this match, especially. But it's just a little. How do I put this nicely? Getting to see so many overtimes come out only on Oregon is getting a little too repetitive. That's all. It's just a request out there to all of the teams, not maybe play just Oregon and Clubhouse. There's 5 more maps, so yeah, that kind of variety and exploration is always appreciated. It comes to competitive play as well. But hey, coming back to round 9, we've still got the push happening. Blue Bunker push shall come in any moment now from the side of the Ace, and the backstage push is already underway. Steel Shot, he's just having He's just chilling, honestly, inside the freezer. He's not got a whole lot to worry about. He's got himself a nice camera just to watch his back and anticipate any attack is closing in on him. They've not got a whole lot to worry until now. Dyro is going to watch this drone and just take it out and fall back. That's exactly what you would expect out of the smoke as well. The canister's got to come out any moment now. Cypher watching this little angle that he's got for himself, looking to see if the smoke happens to make any mistakes, he will get punished. But right now, it's going to come down to Dyro playing this all the while more intelligently. We've got the Maverick get out the hatch, the first hatch at least. The meeting hatch will get taken care of. Will not get the push come out from the freezer or from the main stairs, at least not yet. And we'll be seeing slowly Team Heat make their way onto site, onto the map rather. The map control is exactly what they're striving for right now. Still up 5 versus 5. Nobody's lost. Anything could happen in the last 60 seconds remaining.
Dying seconds of the round. That's where we are as Proxnav gets the shot. Well then, didn't look like he would survive that gunfight, but it does, as Team Heat will be the first ones to lose a body. Bad timing for them, and really there wasn't much that Usher could do about that situation other than maybe fall back and try again slightly later. Proxnav, he knew where he needed to aim. His crosshair placement on that second coming was good enough. As Vergix taking down that Samcam may or may not have given away his position, as Cypher will be the one to go down. Vergix, that was not a good time for the Zero to go onto the cam. That's unfortunate, and that will lead to another couple of deaths right there with Cypher down. It's all down to AMSD. The Ace, does he know the go is coming up? No, he doesn't. Proxnav will be the one to shut him down, and a Goo-mine to the chin of Cypher was apparently what took down the mighty Ash. Wolframite Esports this time a lot better on the defense, far better in terms of coordination and pacing in tandem with the attackers. They knew what they needed to do, and unfortunately, two unfortunate mistakes from both Ushrith excuse me, and Night Soul on the back stairs gave away that entire blue bunker push. That was the pivotal moment. Had Ushrith not gone down, had he managed to get the kill onto Proxnav on backstairs, that round would have gone the way of Team Heat. Or at least, that's what it feels like looking back at it from now. As they say, hindsight is 2020, of course. We can say all we want about situations that we have seen that have passed, but at the end of the day, it is 5-4 going into the 10th round. Wolframite Esports, a good defense, going into kitchen and dining. All right, interesting. It's not the side that we see too often, all things considered. Most teams opt to go for meeting and kitchen. Dining hall, not too much, but then again, dining hall by itself is a fairly good site with this lockers control strategy that Wolframite seems to be going for. Will we have a little bit of rotation there? No, we won't. We'll just have the whole wall, the whole of lockers be reinforced off from the side of the defense. We're gonna have second floor control. The castle's in play. It'll be slightly extended in terms of the roam from the looks of it. But other than that, a fairly standard setup from the side of Wolframite. Team Heat should be able to read into this one, which will pretty much put it down onto Team Heat's utility clearance strategy and their gunfight potential. If they're not able to do it like they did the last time, as in if they're not able to, make amends for the last round, we might yet see a match point come out from the side of Wolframite. Every single round, I'm trying to sort of gauge where this match is going. Is it going to go close to overtime? Is it going to be 7-4, 7-5? And every single round, I've sort of been made to think the other way at the end of the round. The last round, I thought, all right, it's close to overtime. This round, I'm saying that it could be a match point situation. It could be overtime. Could be anything at this one. I think speculations, it is what it is. They're not always bound to work. At least, not in the way that I would be keeping count of, as Baba used to do, I remember. Anyway, coming back to the point at hand, round 10 will be the situation. Oxygen, oh boy. Not sure how Proxnav couldn't get the head right there, but unfortunately the Maverick will live and take him down instead. That's a bit of return to sender right there in terms of the gunfire. That's going to be the first kill confirmed with a minute 40 remaining.
That's right. I expected that angle to work for the side of the defender rather. But hey, looks like Oxygen just has his lucky stars aligned for him today. It's still got the push happening in the minute and 20 remaining, and anything could happen right now. Oxidane still looking to maybe walk away with a possible frag from the same angle that he's got for himself. Nadia should looking to make the hallway push. Oh, Hypnotest will be the first one to pick up a fight against in that angle. They've not got any pushes happen, but they know the shotgun in hand is going to be fatal if you want to push up that hallway. It's going to come down to a very expected of outcomes. You know exactly what happens when you have shotgun at that range being just being unloaded onto your face. And not got the push happen for the exact same reason. Nightcell is just going to hold this out. Smoke comes out, but hey, look at that peak from the Malusi. Just able to walk away with one. The knife does not connect. And what is this? What is going on? Wait a minute. Somehow the Zofia still happens to walk away with that frag. And Oxidane will go down as well. The follow up is here from the Legion, and he gets that quick follow up. He's on the flank. He's trying to find two more. Will he get?
Attackers have
So
dropped the
he's
bomb diffuser.
getting the pre fires and whatnot done, but it's just not enough steel shot. Maybe he's able to walk away with the frag. Meanwhile, to all of this commotion and clumsiness on the way, we've still got the pre-fires coming in from the Legion. Wojcik's expecting where that push is coming in from Cypher. He's the only one left remaining.
15
Oxidane
seconds
is down. Cypher somehow walks away with the double kill for himself, and that's the pistol
10
out.
seconds to go.
Steel shot, the only last man surviving. Oh, this is a 1v1 that he's got to win, and he wins it! What? Teammate walks away with that clutch from Cypher, just able to twist, turn, duck around side, and get two headshots. What? How was this allowed to happen? Oh boy, Team Heat just obliterating the side of Wolf from ID Esports. They are going to be hitting their heads on this after this, for sure.
Well, a little unfortunate situation seems to have developed, ladies and gentlemen, because we, excuse me, right there, have been hit with a bit of a sound-related issue. I'm pretty sure a lot of our viewers could catch on to it right towards the end, where the sound of a mute jammer seems to be, excuse me, there seems to have hit us in terms of our hearing. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Cypher really just took that round by storm. I mean, really wasn't anything that, excuse me, right there, really wasn't anything that should have allowed him to make that play. Coming in, dipping and dodging inside a site, and absolutely making everything work his way. That's why you see Ash, shall we say. That's going to be another round taken by the side of Team Heat. That's going to put them on to a equalizer yet again. 5-5, I believe the scoreline will be. Once we come back, we've of course had to use the pause timer to make sure that the sound issue is taken care of nice and quickly. And we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with the match itself. But of course, that has given us a ton of things to talk about when it comes to the match that we are having. And oh boy, is it ever a match when it comes to Division 3. Just like the qualifiers, we had an overtime beginner for the qualifiers. And we may have an overtime beginner for Division as well. Only 2 rounds separate us from that eventuality, as one team will in fact go to match point, but who will take the overtime, who will take us to overtime, the match to overtime, is the real question that we will be answering in just a short while. But excuse me, there, all things considered, it's been a fantastic game, and overall the improvements that I'm seeing from both Team Heat and Wolfram ID Esports have certainly helped them in this situation, as we we'll sort of be talking about what we are going to get to see from them and what we have seen from them so far in this match. I mean, I've said that a lot, and kind of because just thinking of the right way to express these. To express the thoughts that we have had, it can be kind of challenging in certain times of the day. Unfortunately, it seems to be that time for me. But anyway, enough stalling, as it were. Overall, I'd say that Team Heat, in their attacking pushes primarily, they've got a fairly okay intel game. Nothing too much against it, but their attack seems to rely on being able to brute force one side of the defensive site. One particular key area that they're trying to get into, and once Wolframite reads into that, if they're able to hold their gunfights, then they are able to make the rounds their own. That's what we saw in the basement laundry round from the side of WLF. But coming into this round in Kitchen that we just had, it was fairly similar, I think we can say. from the side of the attack. I mean, they were led into. Vergix came in, he made the flank, he got all of those kills on the hallway, but unfortunately, he couldn't quite make it work, primarily down to Cypher being, well, Cypher or an Ashmain, I think would be the better the better analogy in this situation, all things considered. But it seems that we have in fact been able to rejoin lobby, or right? Interesting. As we're just trying to figure out some other things related to the match itself, as we are trying to get the pause timer unpaused and whatnot. It's a whole bunch of stuff in terms of hosting. I'm pretty sure if ever we get our admin Eisen onto the stream to speak a few words, he would have some choice words to say about the situation, things that we may or may not be able to say on stream. But of course, again, speculation, as they say. For the time being, looks like yeah, we are going to be here for a little bit longer, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll have to come back into the match after just a little bit. It's a bit unfortunate, but these sorts of waits usually tend to have longer periods of not longer periods. These longer waits tend to have better resolutions, even if they are for only 1 or 2 rounds. But all things considered, I would like to pass it off to Foxy with the question. Given that it's 5-5 right now between both sides, what do you think we might see from Wolframite or Team Heat going forward into these next 2 rounds?
That's something I wanted to talk about. Such a convenient place that we happen to come out with the rehost on, because 5-5, it's really difficult to make a prediction right now, Blackjack. Anything could happen. We might see this go anywhere. Team Heat, for sure, I'm rooting for them to come up with a better performance. But just from the looks of it, I think Wolframite Esports might be able to have a better edge over them. Might be able to just have those that match point conversion a little better than what I see Team Heat doing.
Well, excuse me out there. Given of what you just said, the overall conversion and whatnot, Wolframite certainly could make it work. But Team Heat, they've had that mid-match resurgence that you always like to see. It saves us from 7-2s and 7-3s that usually end out being one-sided. But Team Heat have, of course, like you mentioned and like we both sort of talked about, have been making their own fair share of mistakes. We've seen them, falter in terms of their final push or how they want to push through a site. It brute forcing certain aspects, certain key areas of a defensive site can work. It has worked in the past for Team Heat, most certainly. But unfortunately, Wolframite is an opponent that works slightly more off of how they improvise and how they read their opponents, and that in and of itself opens up a whole can of worms. I mean, reading your opponent to to borrow a something from fighting games is you're literally standing there saying try something, and you're expecting one result, but if your opponents do something else entirely, it may or may not work. There's a much lesser chance of your try something stance working if your opponent doesn't do almost exactly what you want them to do. Now, while I say that, Wolframite's reads per se aren't exactly very specific. They're not exactly expecting, all right, they will push through here with these operators and these utilities, and this is how they'll collect intel. They're not doing exactly that. We saw that in the qualifiers, and frankly, that was enough of that, ladies and gentlemen. But all things considered, in this situation, in this match right now, WLF will need to work on how they improvise their, well, in this case, their defensive holds, because Team Heat, while they like to brute force things, we've seen them change things around. That last round, primarily, they tried to change it around. Instead of going through the main breach, they tried to go through lockers. You saw lockers had a little line of sight made by a summer breach that was denied, and a whole bunch of other things there. In the end, Cypher, the way he made that work was just Ash main things, as the community likes to say, as we like to say over on Twitter and whatnot. But all things considered, it's a bit of a back and forth, and there's no real predictions to be had in this situation. This 5-5 could go anywhere, and we could start off by being ready to rumble. We're going to find out if or not that is the case on the other side of this, rehost just, waiting for all the players to join back into the lobby, waiting and making sure that all the round informations are put in correctly and all the bans are put in correctly. Speaking of which, Nomad and Kaid, not exactly a ban combination we get to see too often on Oregon, specifically Nomad. Kaid we get to see pretty much every other game. But Nomad, we see teams play Nomad. We see them prefer to play Nomad. Even if they're on the defense, they leave Nomad unbanned primarily because you want to be able to shut down those flanks. You want to be able to shut down those runouts without having to use too much secondary utility, too many claymores, or bring in a gridlock whose gadget, while good, isn't nearly as effective because Nomad completely incapacitates defenders for a short period of time. Gridlock is more on, they'll take damage if they go through it, or they make sound going through it, but they have other ways around it. With Nomad, if you have, say, site held and you shut off the main entry points with those air jabs, defenders have one of two choices. Either risk running out of time going the long way around, or risk getting incapacitated, thrown to the floor, and shut down just then and there. So it's a good ban, all things considered, fairly smart one as well. And of course, Thatcher bans. I mean, it's a rare day to see Thatcher not banned, I'd say, at this point. We all thought that Operation Neon Dawn would change that. Turns out, no. It doesn't do anything for the Thatcher bans. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, all the players are back in the lobby, and it seems that everything is set and ready. So we will be going live with the match in just a quick second right here. 5-5 is the scoreline. Round 11 will be underway. And let us join the teams right now in this 11th round on the map of Oregon, as we will be headed to second floor kids' dorms and dorms main hall for this exciting match resumption.
That's right. It's quite the wait. I wish I did not have my cold and cough to accompany me while you happen to ask me very important questions, Blackjack. Turned out to be quite the less, I would say, insightful take on what I was trying to convey. With 5-5, the scoreline equalized. We're looking at anything that could happen from
Defenders
here.
protect
We've
your
got
bombs
both from
from
our
being
esports
defused
and
by
team. He's
attackers.
just able to have a go at it. That's what they've been trying to get each other, the better of each other rather. But so far, neither of them have been able to get a crack at it, not yet at least. Let's see who happens to break first. We've got Steel Shot once again back on the mute. Dyro will be on the Velusi. Prox now, he's brought up the Goyo. A very trusty Goyo for that matter. We've seen Goyo turn out to be such a good operator pick when it comes to this division in specific. We're able to see the strategies revolve around them. We're able to see the attackers decide their pushes according to them. And so, just from the looks of it, superficially, Goyo has definitely turned out to be such an influential player for the team. And
Attackers
just
must
just
locate
from
and
what I
defuse
happened
the
to
bomb.
speak about from the first half as well, when we had team heat on defense, Goyo was just that influential. That out of the way, I'll not be talking about that operator, not anymore at least. It's Prox now who's been doing some work for himself and his team as well. It's not just the operator, it does come down to the credit that the man has to take for himself as well. He's definitely had his shining moments. Not yesterday, they'll be playing the Zofia, and quite interestingly, so it's been a while watching Ashrit play such an active role than rather what you'd have him play on the intel or rather on the breach role. Usually, that's what I see Ashrit come out with. But hey, right now he's going to be out looking for heads. Let's see if he's able to find them. Not right out of the way. He's not got that right from the start. We've still got Oxidane making this push. A possible C4 is what they're expecting from the side. Oh boy, he does not even need a C4. That vector connection did come up, and quite the connect indeed. He had just happened to get that from the hole the Maverick happened to make. The Maverick is still confused as to what happened. It's able to maybe toss in a nade or something, able to get the breach done nice and easy. It's going to come down to so much confusion that the Maverick has to work against. We still got the push happen from Armory and not Yashrit. His position's being given away. We see the Maestro cams making that call, just giving that information to the teammates right now. A minute and 30 remaining. It's going to come down to these four attackers. Team Heat, they're definitely feeling the heat. They've got to make sure they don't crumple down on this. AMST, though, is going to add up to it, and that's going to be the refrag that comes out from the side of the attack. 4 versus 4, and anything could happen from here on.
Closet breach coming in from the Selma breaches. Unfortunately, that's going to take out one of the friendly drones as well. That was Ushrit's drone right there. Unfortunately, not going to look too good on the drone economy for the side of Team Heat, but it doesn't matter. It's a 4 versus 4 with a minute remaining, and this round is certainly going to end a lot sooner, I think, than the rounds previous. Ushrit going forward, getting to the barbed wire, sees one. Virgins will be downed. I don't think Ushrit knows that. He could send an impact the way of Vergix, but even if he has one, it's not going to do too much. The Jaeger has retreated just enough, but Oxidane will come in actually to confirm the kill. Gives away his position, however, inside of Attic. That one's going to be watched now by the Maestro in this 2 versus 4 situation, as Pruxnav will fall as well. The Goyer's been taken down, and there goes the Mute. Not sure where he was headed, and now it's all down to Hypnotas, the Maestro, inside of Kid's dorm. He's being held down of sorts by Cypher, but it'll be the Zofia. Ushrit to find the kill, Hypnotis to go down, and Team Heat not losing a single other body other than the first kill, which was taken by Pruxnav so long ago. It feels like the first ones to hit match point, ladies and gentlemen, will in fact be Team Heat in this 6-5 situation, hitting match point very, very, very quickly indeed. And all things considered, a good push once again. Well paced, well thought out. You still had Oxidane going in from a different angle that they had to worry about, that Wolfram had to worry about. And as soon as the pressure started to be applied from that main trophy door push and the closet push, it all fell very, very quickly apart. Match point confirmed. The round of ones is a go. And I say that because one round remains for Team Heat to confirm this match, put their first win on the books, and start off strong. And one round for Wolfram to equalize and push for overtime. The only chance they have at winning this match, at salvaging the situation, is pushing for overtime. And you can bet they will be trying their absolute hardest for it. Team Heat is going to have to be careful because they have pushed Wolframite to a corner. As you all know, Wolframite doesn't like being stuck inside a corner.
It most definitely does not. We'll be seeing Wolframite looking to just make some arrangements and adjustments to that corner that they've just gotten pushed into. Wolframite Esports, they're looking like we might be getting taken to overtime, but that's only something that I think the rest of the round can convey to us or not rather. Team Heat, a good attack round coming in from them in the last round especially. You happen to see them just able to take control of the situation very responsibly. So we saw them breaking down the entirety of the map so well. We saw them taking control just in the right amounts, able to come up with the peaks at the right time, all of that information on point. We love to see such attack rounds, and we got to see a couple of them from the start of Wolframite Esports as well. It's just that you happen to see them make this change over to the defensive side, and it's not exactly been the best of sailing for them. Still got Cypher looking at this angle. We've got the backstage push coming in from the man. Cypher very influential as to what he happens to offer to his team, and hey, there you go. He's gonna add up to that influence I just happened to talk about that he happens to bring up, but the revive should come in quickly enough. That's just going to be a tag on the Goyo, then that's just 20 HP left to the man. You got Vorjix looking at this angle. He's got to worry about it. He's just going to make sure he does not let him walk away with the frag, at least not yet. That down did come in, but Prox now, he's got to be careful now, and that's exactly what he's going to do. A minute and 40 remaining. Not got any flank coming in from the side of the defense, and that can only mean one thing. Got the total hold coming in very trusty and just able to put this hold and carry it and push it forward. But the push is yet to happen from the side of the attack. That's where the push is supposed to be happening right now. We're not going to see that happen, at least not yet. Vorjix holding down this angle all by himself. He's still got to wait this out. He's just playing the time, people, and that's exactly what you'd expect out of the defense right now because there's only 60 seconds remaining. We're slowly going to that mark, and it's going to come down to a 5 versus 5 with nobody's left, with nobody's down yet. Let's see what it happens to bring us.
Seems like the blue push is slowly heating up from the side of Team Heat, but it's not quite getting there, is the main
bomb has
problem.
been
Drones
located.
are in, Vergix has fallen back into the hallway door, but that's just another corner for the side of Team Heat to watch out for. Pruxnav low on HP, Goya Shield will finally be popped,
Attackers
but
have located
40
a bomb.
seconds remain. It's a 5 versus 5,
Attackers have
and
dropped the bomb.
nothing seems to be working for the side of Team
Attackers
Heat, as
recovered.
AMST will be the first to drop. Cypher goes down as well. The shotgun comes into play as Dyro gets 2, Vergix gets another. It's all down to this 2 versus 3 versus, no, 2, 1 versus 5 actually. The counter did show 3 versus 5 for whatever reason right there. But it's down to Night Soul. Is he going to get the first one? Not quite. There are tons of damage dealt, but Proxime will push up, get punished for it. Steel shot comes in from above. The Jaeger will take the kill. Shut down Night Soul and give the round to the side of Wolframite on the defense, which means, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to rumble? Overtime is in play. Round 13 is going to be the round we go into. This match is not over, as WLF are doing whatever they can to make this work. They want this win, and they want it bad. Team Heat, unfortunately, once again trying to brute force their way through blue and back stairs, didn't work, couldn't dislodge the operators in time, could not get those kills to start things off, and with that, we're going to be going into the 13th round of this match on Basement Laundry from Wolframite. Again, and understandably so, this is the side they have taken twice in a row with almost no issues reading Team Heat, so things are going to have to come in for Heat. The ball's in their court, as they say, to change things around, to make a different push, because as you can see, this is a very standard preparation that WLF is doing, but it's been helping them every single round. Heat needs to work on their push, needs to work on not being predictable and
10 seconds
repetitive,
to go.
otherwise they're going to have another round loss on their hands.
5 seconds to go.
That's right. Just like you happen to put that forward, Blackjack. Looking at the overtime, Heat really needs to up whatever they're bringing on board. And so does Wolframite Esports. We got to see a good overtime takeaway from us. And just as you happen to predict this during the 4-to-4 ratio, well, we see overtime. Looks like we will be. And that's where we are headed. First round underway with the prep phase onto overtime. We've not got a whole lot happening once again. We're not getting to see a huge change up from either of these teams. Vergix was a little aggressive, but he's fallen back on the side, and that's exactly what I'm loving about the side of Wolframite right now. They're just able to bring in the right amount of randomness, not a whole lot, and that's what it is. They still got to watch this angle, and just as we happen to make this move happen, AMST, that'll be from the side of blue bunkers as we happen to move ahead. Slowly enough, but hey, steadily enough as well. We're still hitting the 2-minute mark, and just as we happen to move all the while more closer to it, we'll be seeing Cypher all the while more ecstatic once again, just very energetic from what he happens to bring onto with his plays, just the way his play style is. Honestly, that's very evident from what he happened to bring on board. Oxidane with the breach that is going to come out from the Maverick. We've got a possible disconnection onto Oxidane coming in, as I just saw him moonwalk. But hey, that's going to be, there you go. Look at that. A possible Oxidane has left the lobby, might come in any moment. Now there you go. Oxidane has left the lobby, sadly. So that's going to come down to a 4 versus 5. Team Heat looking to make some changes, but hey, here's another addition to it. Vergix able to walk away with a nice moment and a nice frag. That's the one that he wanted to find. The headshot comes in and connects. There's still got a minute remaining as we happen to slowly go towards that mark, and there's 3 attackers left alive to make whatever is left of this round.
Unfortunate situation right there, as Oxidane's disconnection is going to leave that hatch, at least, not exactly all the way breached until AMST decides to come in and get things done. I believe he's up there on meeting right now. That's going to allow them to make a little bit of a play. Spreadsnap takes a ton of damage trying to get behind the pillar inside a boiler room. But again, the kill not confirmed. Night Soul, he knows that the Goya is there, and finally will be able to shut him down. That's the first kill that Team Heat have gotten on that push in a couple of rounds now, outside of course, what Night Soul did a couple of rounds ago. But regardless, Team Heat will definitely be feeling the loss of Oxygen and Ushrit in this situation as the 6-6 boils down to these last 20 seconds. It's all that remains from the side of the attacking team as pre-fires are coming in. Night Soul's very close, but Dow's going to find one. That Cypher off the board. The shotgun comes in, finds one, and Vergix will be the one to get Night Soul. The Legion swoops in and takes the kill. Even though I believe the shotgun fired first, it doesn't matter. There was a goo mine down there as well. Absolutely nothing that would have stopped the side of Wolframite from taking the win. But ladies and gentlemen, what a good time for Wolframite to reclaim the lead, because they will be 7-6 on the round count going to round 14. It's going to make things just that little bit better, seeing as they are on overtime. Excuse me, right there. Overtime match point. The 14th round will come in, but unfortunately, we've had to pause once again because of the disconnection from Oxidane that came out just a second ago. And we're going to have to just give the players a little bit of time to see if Oxidane can connect back. If not, unfortunately, we will have to go into a full rehost, ladies and gentlemen. We do deeply apologize for twice now that the action has been cut off in a very crucial moment of the match. But it is what it is, you know. Sometimes connections can be a little iffy, they can be a little all over the place, and that's why we're here with ourselves to talk about the match that we have on hand. And I know I've already asked this to Foxy once, but given what we've seen in the last couple of rounds, what do you think? Round 14? Will it be the end? Or is round 15 going to happen?
We might as well see the close up happen on round 14. And once again, I'm still going to stick with my uncertainty of an answer that I happened to come up with before as well. That, hey, it's really difficult to make a prediction right now. Both of these teams, they've definitely had their moments of shining. But hey, you come back to that prediction issue, it's something I cannot just lay my fingers on. Not right now. It's the new season. Begin to see that new energy come out from the team. Some new stuff that they are trying out. I'm clearly able to see that. And hey, just as you happen to speak about it, there's not a finger I can lay on either of these teams. But for sure, for my Esports, they're looking all the while more stronger. And like I said, since the start of this match, I was expecting them to win just from the get go, just from how they happen to be them. Just they happen to be this team that Division Three loves to host them. Team Heat, they just made their way back into through the qualifiers, so it makes so much sense for them to perform. We're not getting to see a whole lot of it, though. Not yet. They've been able to give a fitting reply, a fitting fight, but not a fitting victory that I've gotten to see from them. Not yet. And just as I happened to say this with, and I know it's going to sound a little bitter, but we got to see Team Heat come out with a rather lackluster of a performance, even through the qualifiers. We saw Team Heat had better days. That's what I'm trying to say. Team Heat just able to have better days and able to just fall back to this level. Not the best of positions. I want to see this team stand for themselves, but I'm able to see them make amends. I'm able to see them make the push up, and most definitely, it's going to be an interesting possible next two rounds if they do happen to make that comeback attempt once again. But hey, coming back to the little discussion we were having, it's still something I cannot lay my finger upon. It's still something that keeps me guessing, and I guess that's the best part about Division Three.
Most certainly, I do have to agree in this type of situation that it keeps us guessing. That's what the main like appeal for Division 3 is. I mean, with Division 1, you know what you're about to get. You somewhat have an idea of the kind of strategies you may or may not see. Something unorthodox does happen every now and again. Division 2, it's all a gigantic bloodbath. You have teams from Division 1, teams from Division 3, and teams that have managed to stick it out in Div 2 for the last season or the last couple of seasons, going all out to try and get themselves into Division 1 to lay their claim at the highest possible tier in this region. And then, of course, you have Division 3. Not quite as, bloody as Division 2 is, but you still have that level of uncertainty, that element of surprise that these teams have in terms of what they will, what they won't, and what they might even be doing. I mean, some clips from previous seasons Division 3s have been very fun to look back on, over the course of the many months that we've had the previous league and this league for. And it's just been an absolute, excuse me, there's been an absolute treat. Mhm.
Blackjack. Now that you happen to speak about it, there's this. If you do happen to remember by any chance, I think it was season 2 of the last league, not even the pro league. You happened to come out during that little era we had Seva Esports play.
Hmm.
There was this one team. I'm not sure. I cannot remember who. We had this match with the Montaigne in a 1v1 where he happened to put the shield in the back and just pick a pistol fight
I
with a chase up on
kind
cover.
of. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that happens to give me nightmares. You see me waking up in the middle of the night and texting you sometimes, right? That's
yeah.
that's the same clip that is played in my head and just was able to kick me back awake because I still remember about it. I don't know what the player was thinking at that moment, and you happen to think about it, coming down to the entertainment alone that we've had through the qualifiers phases is definitely a fun thing that we always look out for as casters ourselves. But hey, that's I guess that's the fun about the qualifier stage. We happen to see so much stuff happen that we can just maybe get away with a laugh on it. Come back to Division 3. It's all the while more serious. It's all the while more action that people like to imply on, and more new things that like to be given a growth and a push as well. But hey, that is just words and all. We get to see these teams really adding life to it. We get to see these teams really trying it out there, and just so many things we could not have been seeing today, made possible by everybody out here, all the teams out here in Division 3. It does come out to be that one recreational division for sure, 100%. Nothing that they can take away from them. But hey, that's words. Like I said, people, we already have the player reconnected into the lobby. We already have everybody ready to go. That's right, 7-6, resuming the match from where we left off with the match point. No, no, just as we have to make the transition into the match, people, we just had the disconnection. Like between the transition, like between you happen to go from my face and blackjacks to the game, we had the disconnection, and I could see that. I'm sure our host most definitely saw that, and that's just unfortunate, people. I'm so sorry. My apologies, but these things, they're just a little out of our hands, and we cannot really do anything. But guess what? Is reconnected back in the lobby. That's right. We have 10 people back in the lobby, and it's a very comical rehost that we've had today. But hey, we'll be getting into it right away as we get that confirmation from our admin Eisen. We'll be moving in quickly enough. That's right. We'll be resuming with match point in the favor for
Attackers
United
need to
Esports.
locate and
That's right. We'll
defuse
be
bombs.
underway, and we've got the prep phase already happening.
Prep phase happening after what is quite literally the comedy of errors of this match. That little phase where we have all the fun and games in this situation. And interestingly enough, we're going to be going into second floor kids' dorms and dorms main hall right off the back of the round 14 situation that we have found ourselves in. Interestingly enough, Wolframite, they were the ones to finally push into this
seconds left before
situation, and
insertion.
would you look at that? Roxnav,
5
I believe
seconds
he was
left
the one who
before insertion.
disconnected, and now he came back after Oxygen
Attackers are
came back,
moving out to locate a bomb
and
and
then
defuse it.
he disconnected again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's one of those days, shall we say. Primarily down to the fact that we can't pause in the preparation phase. Pause timer only works in the main game, in the pick phase of the main game, and unfortunately, once we have transitioned over to the preparation phase, we have to use the rehost. Unfortunately, excuse me, right there. The rehost will be that of Team Wolframite Esports, as they were the ones to have the disconnection right there. And I guess on that vein, even though we know what side it will be, the result of the match is yet elusive from our eyes. It has been evading coming into the limelight for both of these teams. And I mean, at this point, there's really nothing anyone can say about this situation other than, yeah, actually, there's something I can say.
Just Just happen to think about it. We have the next team coming up and waiting for their turn. I'm sure we've got that anticipation come out from the second teams as well, just having to come out on that stream match. But looks like Wolfram and Team Heat, they'll be taking their time, and it's okay. It's not really we can. There's not much we can do about it. So we'll just be working around this. We'll be making sure that this waiting time becomes all the while more entertaining, hopefully, for you guys out there joining us. I'm sure you guys came here for the match and for the action, for the Rainbow Six action I always keep promising you about. But hey, it's just these little things that sometimes we cannot really anticipate that come around. So here we are finding ourselves in this a little awkward of sorts, but yeah, a conversation that will still be going with. So Blackjack, you happen to come about what I was trying to say. Division Three, we've still got more play days of action coming up. What's going to be your outlook towards it? What are some teams? I think I need to know this from you. What are some teams that you'll be looking out for when it comes down to this new season of the Pro League?
Well, all things considered, Foxy, now that you've asked me that question, when it comes to teams that I feel like we should watch out for when it comes to Division Three, for one, Saw Faith, they looked pretty decent, I'd say, in the previous season. Season, excuse me. Sure, they were a little bit clunky in places, a little bit all over the place. They could have made the cut had they played just a little bit better. Unfortunately, it was not to be. They could be one of those standout teams for the season. They have been before, and I certainly have faith in them that they will be. But that's one team that I feel like we should be keeping our eyes on. Team Heat, most certainly, both Heat and Wolframite, they are teams that have more than proven themselves today. I'd say more so Team Heat coming back from the qualifiers straight into the division stages. You'd expect them to be slightly more tired than Wolframite, but no, they're here. They're playing very, very well indeed. No signs of being rusty, being fatigued, nothing like that. That's certainly going to help them quite a bit as well. And another team I'd like to point out before, of course, I pass it back to you, is Team Area 69 is another team we've seen before in the division stages. More than that, we've seen them in Division 2 as well. They've managed to get that promotion before, so they certainly are capable of getting there. Whether or not they are ready to, stick it out in Div 3, Div 2 is a different question. They are more than ready to top this division itself, and that is going to make it just that little bit better, all things considered. And it's going to be very interesting. That's all I can say for this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Given everything, excuse me, given everything that we seem to be having for both sides, it's gonna be very it's gonna be different Div 3 this season. I feel overall it will be different from before.
No, we happen to talk about the last season as well. Excuse me. One team that I had my eyes on always was Team Clickbait. They got the promotion, nice and easy, well deserved promotion as well. You happen to think about these teams, Team Clickbait, then you have Area 69 come up. All of these names, just some of these rosters you cannot get out of your head. They keep resonating with wherever you come across stuff. And hey, here we are finding ourselves in what could be the possible last two seasons that come out in the Pro League. So, just as we happen to talk about it, it definitely happens to put a pressure onto the player's perspective as well. You know that, hey, this is the timeline we have for our performance to come out the best, and this is going to be our timeline for our just exhibiting our skills on this platform. So, just coming out from that as a background, you happen to think about these teams have definitely put in a lot of work. They've definitely showed us a lot of grind. We've seen so many teams just coming back to back for the qualifiers and through it, but now we're here with some of these teams I think that have definitely earned a name for themselves throughout the entirety of the run of this Pro League and the last league for that matter. We've gotten to see quite the stuff happen, and there's just so many things that have gone down. I guess it does happen to speak volumes in terms of just Division Three offering us that new refreshed breeze of things. You know, you come down to Division One and Two, it's that bloodbath, the slaughterhouse of a mood. You always are able to take away from the teams that both of them are always out looking for the heads. Division Three does not only act as this relief we are able to take away, but also acts as so much more. We are getting to see the potential come out from these teams building up, and Hey, one of these teams the other season rather, happened to catch my interest as well, catch my eye as well. Thought I might be able to extend them some of my help, but that's a conversation we might be getting into later because right now it's Team Heat versus Wolframite Esports that I'm looking at, and just from the looks of it, is still a very indecisive outcome that might happen out of it. So once again, the ball is in your court, I guess, Blackjack. From where we go.
uh, I mean, yeah, we will be getting into this match in just a quick minute, ladies and gentlemen. I know we've said that quite a bit over the course of this and the previous Rios that we had to take. However, we are almost back with all the players. 9 out of 10 players are in the lobby. Make that 10 out of 10. Team Heat are all in, so are Wolframite Esports. Now we're just waiting for both sides to, well, for one, to stay in the lobby this time around, as we all remember what happened in the middle when we tried to get into the match itself. And we will, in fact, be going into this match after making sure everything is set and ready and whatnot out, given the number of issues that have happened. While none of us want any more issues, it would certainly wouldn't surprise me if something else came up. I mean, at this point, anything's possible, as they would say. But all things considered, round 13 going the way of Wolframite is going to help them significantly in this battle against Team Heat that they find themselves in this 7-6 match situation. And Team Heat, unfortunately, are going to have to try and work something out in this defensive round that they have ahead of them. I believe we saw them taking second floor kids' dorms and dorms main hall before we had to go into the rehost. And well, a little unfortunate. Looks like Team Heat as well has had a disconnection once again. Yep, every single time, every single time we're getting ready. We're getting ready going into the match. We're beginning to get the segue in, the transition in. Everybody's happy, everybody's excited. The match is finally about to go live, and just like that. If anybody's ever seen a deflating
Yeah.
balloon, that's what I feel like inside right now.
I might as well just get up and start stretching right now. Just let's get let's get ready. Just feel the vibe of this match, I guess, because we've had quite the delay. I agree. It's a little embarrassing, guys. We'll be getting to the match quickly enough, but hey, there's just some things that are out of our hands, and we cannot really personally attend to it or fix, and that's something we're stuck with. So once again, our apologies, people. Our deepest and sincere apologies for this. For this quite the delay. It's the first day of the new season into Division 3. We know exactly what you feel. We know that bringing out all of this action to you means so much. But hey, here we are. We've got the final man in. Like we said, the wait hopefully is not longer than this, as we're just making some final confirmations with the players. We're just getting some final stuff sorted as we'll be going into this match any moment now. I guess that's what we'll be doing. That's what we're supposed to be doing. 7-6. Hopefully everything is right, and all we'll just get that tested in just a moment. But yes, we already have everybody in the lobby. We'll be getting the match very soon. So, but just a bit, like I said, just almost there, almost at the finishing line. Not yet, not quite yet. Uh, Just like how Wolframite Esports are on the overtime match point into the 7-6, but not quite yet with the victory. But we'll be going to the match right now, people. Like I talked about, 7-6. Wolframite Esports are the ones in lead. Will we see a possible maximum overtime come or not? That's the question that we're here to get answered. That's the question we're here to find out. That's something we'll be looking forward to find out for quite a while now. Hopefully, this is going to be that round now.
Defenders,
Well, we'll
protect your
certainly
bombs from
find
being
out
defused.
if that is the round. Both Wolframite and Team Heat will want to end this as soon as possible. But for Team Heat, that journey isn't quite done yet. They have a little bit more to go before this match ends if Team Heat are to be our victors. But for Wolframite, it will quite literally be the next few minutes that will determine where this match goes. Is it going to be maximum overtime, or is it going to be this round 14 itself that ends this
Attackers have located a bomb.
entire situation that we have on
5 seconds
hand. We're about to find out. Second floor kids dorms and dorms main hall, the site of choice from Team
Attackers
Heat's
are heading
end,
out to
a
defuse
site that they have managed to take before pretty comfortably, all things considered. The last time we saw them go here, it was unfortunately a big series of mistakes made from Wolframite's end, excuse me, right there, that really did not help them make the push happen. But interestingly enough, Dyro, all the way down below on the basement area, looking for a bit of a roam clear early from the looks of things. He's going to just be, excuse me, they're just going to be vibing down here, trying to see if he can get somebody, probably humming a tune to himself as he goes, and just asking for some intel work as well from his teammates. And there may yet be somebody coming his way. We could see one of the defenders coming down white stairs onto white corridor. That could be a potential gunfight down below, and that may yet be, it will in fact be Oxidane, who's gonna take some damage and do some damage back. No, actually, none of the attackers are hit in the slightest. The Ash is pushing off Proxnap. Is he gonna see him though? Yes, he does. Takes him out by the hip. And that's going to be Oxidane off the board. Big drop comes in early as the Jaeger has been taken care of. Oxidane, he was one of those operators, one of those defenders, excuse me, right there, who was making things happen for Team Heat in their roam game in the previous rounds of second floor. However, Wolframite, excuse me, Wolframite on the other side, getting the first kill, but we need more. Proxnap is going to do a bit of damage and get the down onto the Melusi. That's a kill confirmed. No, not quite. The shotgun is playing close. Proxnap, he's going to go up, but the revival actually happens, but Proxnap's going to find the smoke instead. He goes in and gets a triple. Can he get one more is the real question. Shotgun comes out and the smoke will take him down, but the damage is done. It's once again a triple from the Ash, and Ushrit may have shut him down, but it's going to be really hard for the other Team Heat to hold on to this match situation. 2 versus 4 with just under 60 seconds. The push is coming in from WLF, and Team Heat hold on.
That's a question to be answered right now. Team Heat has got to hold on, has got to make sure this 2 versus 4 works out for them, because this is looking like a lost hope, like a lost cause. Most possibly something that we're pointing to looking to walk away with. We've got everything well and accounted for. The drone works are coming in. We're getting to see the relocations happen. We're getting to see the push happen. And through the smoke, it's going to come down to this very, very interesting few seconds. Let's see who happens to stand when the dust settles. With the long angle from Naughty Ashwood coming in, a possible tap that he's attempting to go for, but he's going to get down with him being exposed a little bit too much. Night Solo able to stand up against this team as much as he can, but he won't be able to survive the race. That rather awful from Esports, and that's GG in chat. That's the cleanup, and that's it. 8-6 for Wolframite Esports to start off the brand new league and the brand new division's opening match. A hard-fought victory indeed, and one that they'll be able to walk away with their heads held high. For sure, something that they wanted for themselves and something they'll be able to be taking away from here very happily. So a good match all in all.
A very, very good match indeed from all sides, ladies and gentlemen. The scorecard does not nearly reflect what we saw throughout the entire game, and it's a bit of a shame because there were some plenty of good moments, especially from Proxnav, Dyro, you had Ushrit, you had everybody really just popping off for their teams. The stats would have looked so much better on that end screen had we not had to go for a rehost. Unfortunate, but Wolframite will be your victors here in this first match of this division stages of Division 3 in day 1. A good way to start, and not exactly the best way to start for Team Heat, but a loss at 8-6 is still a long, hard-fought match. We'll be talking about that in Relive the Moment, where we go over the best aspects of the match that we just had, the highlights of this match gone by, as we also prepare for the match next on stream. But of course, more on that in just a bit. All things considered, primarily speaking, when we had Wolframite, excuse me, when we had Wolframite first coming out, their attack was, fairly well paced. I mean, the first round wasn't quite, but they were also sort of learning what Team Heat was up to in their defense. And Wolframite's drone work, their intel gathering, and Proxnav just being Proxnav really helped them in multiple situations. That triple kill, multiple triple kills from Proxnav were what set up a lot of Wolframite's attacks, and it was very much evidenced by the way they pushed in the final round as well. They had Proxnav going from a different direction. He got the triple kill, and suddenly Wolframite were in the driver's seat. Team Heat, however, they managed to read into the way Wolframite wanted to play around with in the third round itself. And, you know, all in all, it wasn't exactly the best third round for the side of the attacking WLF. And, sure, they got the lead up to 3-1, but then Team Heat really started dialing it up in terms of their own defensive play, taking the fight either to, Wolframite very early or playing as passively as possible, staying behind on intel, making sure that their denial was all there, and even playing time in certain situations. It was, all things considered, a well played, well timed defense from the side of Team Heat. And it's really just a little bit of a shame that they weren't able to make it all the way in this very match itself. As you win some, you lose some at the end of the day, but the fight is what really matters. They may have failed in this situation, but in the context of everything, of the 8-6 that we are going to be seeing going forward as a statistic, it's still a very hard fought match from both sides that Wolframite managed to come out on top of. Both of these teams, like we were talking about in that lengthy rehost in the middle, both of them hold great potential for becoming great teams, just all things considered. Unfortunately, they have quite a few issues to still iron out. Their consistency, the consistency of the drone game, in their positioning, in their ability to take and choose gunfights, all things considered. They have issues, nobody will say that they don't, but it's a marked improvement, especially for Wolframite, from where we saw them in the previous season, and we hope to see more of this as we go on with Season 4 and even Season 5.
Most definitely something that we'll be looking forward to see. But hey, something I really want to talk about is Praxna from Esports coming in with a very good definition of what an entry fragger is supposed to be doing. We did not get to see him just able to make his way on the site too early into the round. That's not the kind of plays we saw him make. We saw him make very influential, very calculated plays today. We saw him come out with moments of shining, and there you go. This was another moment of shining for the side of Team Heat for sure. A moment of flex as well, if I may. Cypher, look at that headshot connect, just able to twist, turn, duck around the bullets, just able to escape bullets for that Matrix moment that he had for himself. Most definitely something that Team Heat was not expecting himself to pull off. But hey, here we are. We found him do that. Coming back to what I was trying to say, Praxnav is very underrated for an entry fragger. We're going to see him take very well thought out pushes. Again, we always see him and be in the advantage while taking gunfight. I don't see so many entry fraggers doing that, at least not when it comes to this level of play. When I say this level of play, does not necessarily mean it's not on par or below. That's not what I'm trying to convey. It's just that we have a different play style come out when we do happen to be changing these divisions, and that's what it is. And that's what I'm getting to see. That Prax now just happens to play that's just all the while more better, all the while more control than what I usually see entry fraggers do coming back. But hey, that was that, and I guess that was quite the match to start off. Very interestingly, so we had quite the rehearsal in between and whatnot. Some hurdles that we had to get across, but we finally did, and so did Wolf from ID Sports. It was a good day and a good start for them into this season. Most definitely something that I think we all are glad we saw the first match take it to overtime. Quite the interesting one for the first one to start off season 4.
Most certainly, ladies and gentlemen, an amazing way to begin season 4, as that is going to do it for the first game itself. But we still have two more to go. The second of which is Sage Empire taking on Spectre Gaming, another team that made their way through the qualifiers into the division stages. Spectre Gaming will be taking on Sage on the map of Cafe Dostoevsky. And we'll be right back with that game after a quick break. Stay tuned.
We head for the sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we are crashing down again, pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want, this time I won't take it to the heart. Cause I know we won't make it out, I've heard it all before. Yeah, tell me what you want, let me hear that I'm the only one. You know that we won't make it out, we've heard it all before. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright, so let's move on. 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 We head for the sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we are crashing down again, Pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want. This time I won't take it to the heart, 'cause I know we won't make it out. I've heard it all before. Yeah, tell me what you want. Let me hear that I'm the only one. You know that we won't make it out. We've heard it all before. It's alright. Hey, it's alright. Hey, it's alright. It's alright. It's alright, so let's move on. 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 Alright, so let's move on.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League 4 Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft here with your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host, Foxy, and our admin, Eisen, as we are here for the second match of the first day of Division 3 and the first Division day of 2021 for the Pro League, as Season 4 has kicked off with an amazing 8-6 finisher for the first game. Team Heat unfortunately couldn't quite make the comeback through all the way. They were the ones to lose to Wolframite Esports. We'll be moving on to the map of Cafe Dostoevsky to join Sage Empire and Spectre Gaming in the middle of the ban phase for both teams, as the first ban has in fact been decided from Spectre's end. It is going to be the Nomad. No surprise right there on Cafe. Nomad, a fairly common ban because Cafe has plenty of flankable spots and run out areas that Nomad can shut down all with her 3 air jabs. You don't want that to happen. You want to be able to play around with the map and all its versatilities. Speaking of which, Blackbeard will be the ban from the side of Sage Empire. Not too surprising right there. BB is certainly a nuisance to go up against, and an operator that you don't really see not work out for the side of the attackers. Melusi will be the other operator to be banned on the side of the defense. That's going to be your first defender ban, an annoying one taken care of as well. A very powerful one given the right combination of operators playing around the Melusi. So Spectre will not have Melusi to play around with. Who do they ban in retaliation? It is going to be Mira, taken care of from the side of Spectre Gaming. Interestingly enough, Spectre on defense on Cafe are not going to be playing Mira. They're going to be banning her instead. Interesting decision making from the side of Spectre Gaming, but of course we'll talk about that more later on when we come back to the bans of this map. Right now, let's have a look at both the rosters that are here in the match for ourselves today. Excuse me, right there. From the side of Sage Empire, we've got Edrico, Washta Boomer, Montrosky, Manticore, Yendi Yala, R4C this time. There's a little change of name right there. And from the side of the defending Spectre Gaming, we've got Venetaus, Aoreo, Buckshot, Noob, and Pazu as the first site has been selected. Third floor bar and cocktail lounge will be where we start things off from. I saw the 6 pick being taken by the Takabi right there. Unfortunately, Washed Up Boomer won't be able to change out of that operator. He'll be stuck with the DMR of Takabi. Pretty powerful, but maybe he wanted something else. We'll never know, I guess, as I've kept the man for the mic long enough. Foxy, take it away.
No, thank you for that beautiful introduction into the Matt Blackjack. Honestly, it's okay when you keep us from the mic long enough. It gives us all the while more confidence that yes, we are having a good transition into the match or into the overtime. It depends on where we're headed to. But that out of the way, we're here now, and we've got these teams. And quite interestingly, man, like I said, just appreciating the moment that we are in right now. Just loving the fact that we're getting to see these Division 3 matches come out. And hey, it's good to see Buckshot back in action. Quite interestingly, he's not playing the Goyo though, so that's just a joke we'll get around later. But hey, coming back that we've got for ourselves, Watched a Boomer on the Dokubi. It's really interesting to see Cafe, a nice fresh breath of air, most definitely that we need for ourselves. We're getting to see these change-ups on the operators as well, so it's going to bring up just as different of an approach from both these teams. But hey, Cafe does happen to be an old favorite. You happen to come back to this league. I think it was somewhere around season 1 or maybe season 5 of the last one that Cafe just became a thing. A C4 will not be doing anything. That was a nice bait and switch from the side of the attackers. They definitely made a good move with it, knowing that a C4 could possibly be coming in with the back recams into place. But that's just it. 1 minute expelled out of that little to and fro between the teams that we're getting to see in the early start of this match. And hey, that's just that. We still got Aereo. He's going to be watching that area on the cams that he's got for himself. Not a whole lot of work still happening. Buckshot, they'll start things off. Rico is the first one to fall. Rico, quite interestingly, it's we're getting to see him here into action after quite a while. I did not really catch him through the qualifiers. Here I am, looking at what he has to present. The Capita making the push on the bottom of the red stairs. That is on the top of the red stairs, rather. Excuse me. I thought he happened to move downstairs after that quick push up. But hey, wallbang could come into place. Manticore, you could make that wallbang happen through the wall into the closet. You know exactly where the Jaeger is playing Buckshot, that is. But I think that's not something he'll be going for, not right now. So I think he's a little confused. The Capita most definitely so. There you go. The free fires did come in. The head could get exposed any moment now. Oh, he's playing this so carefully. Buckshot is able to walk away with plays like this. Does he get one more? He almost does. But no, Montrosky makes sure he does quick work of him. And just this is able to take care of before, of course, he could walk away with 2 frags of his own. We're hitting the 50-second mark and the smokes are coming on and the push is coming in. Anything could happen from here on with a 4 versus 3 into effect. Make that a 3 versus 3 as we just got to see a kill come on from the Dokubi. And like I said, anything could happen from here on.
Most certainly, we're going to see the calls coming out from the Takabi as well as Washer Boomer sends out the radio waves. But We have Aoreo.
Bomb
I
located
think
by
he used a
attackers.
receiver. I'm not entirely sure. We did not quite get to hear an explosion, but it doesn't matter for the time being. Pazu watching the long angle could make the influential play right here, and he will. Drops the diffuser from the ace, but you still have the down coming in onto Aoreo, who will
15
be
seconds
cleaned up
remaining.
on by Yala R4C. It's all down to him and Boomer as they need to find these last two defenders. One of them will find a Boomer instead, and now it's all down to Yala. Does he know where the Valkyrie is? No, he does not. As New will be the one to shut him down, and Spectre Gaming will be the ones to take the very first round of this match. All things considered, fairly okay positioning from Spectre Gaming and Sage Empire. However, neither could quite topple the other in terms of who could get more kills or who could stay in the lead for longer. It was 3 vs 3, 2 vs 2, all down to the final two kills to be taken by Pazu and, excuse me, right there, the Valkyrie. All that being said, first floor kitchen service and kitchen cooking will be the site of choice from the side of the defense right here, as Spectre are going to be the ones to go down below, try their luck in a new defensive site, having won the first one. First floor kitchen, of course, an old reliable for the side of defending teams on the map of Cafe. So they're not going to doing anything too new, at least not that we expect right now. If they are, well, of course, I'll be more than happy to eat my words, because we always love to see Division 3 coming up, or at least coming up with variations of their own on strategies that already exist for maps. We had some of those in the last match. We've always had some of those, but for the time being, we're going to be going into first floor kitchen. Fairly standard setup from the side of Spectre, as Sage Empire. We're going to have to come to grips. That first round wasn't exactly the best showing of their skill, of their capacity in Rainbow Six just in general. But it was the first round again, so it's a little bit contradictory to expect too much out of the very first round itself. It is Division 3 after all. We talk about how this division is unpredictable and in many cases takes us by surprise, but it is still Division 3, and both teams need just a little bit of time to read into what the other is doing and set up improvisations accordingly. And we're going to start seeing more of those as the rounds go on. Second round's action phase already underway, with drones coming in from Sage. They want to avoid making the errors that they did in the previous round, which was primarily down to them not having intel on the rotations being made by the defenders. Had they known where Spectre Gaming was headed, especially towards the late round, I'm pretty sure we would not have seen Pazu manage not only to drop the diffuser, but hold it by rotating out to bar. All that being said, with 2 minutes on the clock, the proximity alarms are going off. Something tells me the gunfights are coming not soon after.
Most definitely. What's followed after that calm of the storm, I guess, is all of that action coming in. Just happened to roll out towards the end of it. 1:30 remaining. We happen to hit that mark just steadily. So we've not got anybody getting dropped. Not early, at least not yet. Let's see if that happens to change. Buckshot still looking to maybe find a kill for himself, or maybe he's just getting a little too aggressive with just the plays that he happens to bring out. The carbine in the hands of a person that experienced. There you go. He pops off. The first frag comes in. It'll be Akash to get taken down. Not the best places. The best of place to be in. The Twitch was holding that position for so long. Oh boy, the Zofia getting caught off mid-sprint as well. This is definitely very devastating for the side of the attackers. Once again, it's Buckshot is able to get that double entry frag. Does he find the third? Won't be able to. That connect does come in, and does come in at the right time from Manticore, expecting that the pre-fire on that angle from the stairs. It was very well expected, but Yala, though, he's made his way on the side, awfully close towards the side of Bakery. This might just be the misguide that they're expecting. There you go. He walks away with a frag with the defensive side. Not really attentive, and look at that connect from the Vamai. He happens to just come around the white stairs and gets the headshot. It's a 2 versus 3 rather. Manticore solo on HP, and Yala on the side of Bakery. They've got this push established. They know exactly what they're going to play against and with. Right now, it's going to be the gridlock getting taken down mid-rotation, mid-transition on that stairs. Definitely not the best of sites to catch yourselves in. It's all on the Yala. He's on the site, but not for long. It'll be the Mumbai once again coming up with the finisher on this on the second round as well, and that'll be Spectre Gaming putting another round on board, and quite the round, honestly. coming in from their side as we do happen to go to round three. So it's quite the look. We'll be taking a quick look at that in the instant replay. And 0-2. Hey, walking into this match, you happen to expect something from Sage Empire. Just knowing that they happen to qualify and just walking into this, we'll be getting to expect some, at least on a base level of something. But right now, I really cannot comment on that so far. It's not really been the best of rounds for the side of the attackers, and that's exactly what you happen to see. The defenders taking good advantage of a map like Cafe. Maybe it's that little footloose movement I think the side of the attackers are having with the change up in the map and the pacing
Attackers
so
need to
quickly,
locate and
so
defuse as
fast.
many bombs
But
as
that's
they
it. That's just the game. That is exactly what it's about. And we're here headed to the site of reading room and dining for the round three. Let's see what Spectre Gaming has in store for us.
It was very interesting to see Sage Empire go about business the way they did in the previous round. Losing those first two bodies, excuse me, they're losing those first two bodies to Buckshot certainly did not help their situation in the slightest, as the Jaeger did quite the good deal of work to get his team into the correct position to win the round. But then you had the refrags coming in, two taken, one by Yalla himself. However, excuse me, their Sage Empire, where they really
Attackers'
faltered
objective is to locate
was
a bomb and
having
defuse it.
Montrosky, the ace, push down White Stairs alone without support. Why do I say that? Because he was the one with the diffuser, the one who would have attempted to go into sight through Cold Room and clear out a plantable area. What happened instead? We saw him get taken out. The diffuser dropped. That put the remaining two members of Sage Empire in a gigantic bind. They could not get out of that because they didn't have diffuser. We saw that right at the end, Yala was inside a site, primarily because there wasn't any resistance inside the site. All three defenders, in fact, were playing outside, and they were sort of playing around with the fact that the diffuser was theirs. They could just be outside a site without a care in the world. Yala was in there, and even then, he had to go out to try and get the kills because time was running out, and had he gotten any, he might have still been able to win the round. Unfortunately, in that situation, without the comfort of the diffuser turning the clock in your favor as an attacker, it just makes situations like those all the worse for any attacking team, any attacking member. And oh boy, what has just happened? Pazu has found three people. He's gone for a run out, ladies and gentlemen. And that seems to have been a huge one. Outside of trains, could have been any one of the top floor windows. We didn't get to see that. Such a shame that we didn't. But the Legion just turn things around. The Ash is going to find one, however. Yala takes down Aoreo. Big drop comes in. But can another one be found? C4 goes up, but it's not going to be blown up. Yala, in the meanwhile, taking some damage from the goo mine in his shin. He can't even take it out because there's a Jaeger there. Pre-fires the direction, but Buckshot could go up, get the kill, but he's not actually going to risk it. And Yala and Rodrigo are going to find two back-to-back. Buckshot and Pazu will fall suddenly, making it an equalized round situation. 2 versus 2, down from a 2 versus 5, and only Noob and Venetaus remaining to make this clutch happen. Venetaus, inside of reading, can't be too ecstatic right here. They're pushing in through Train Museum, and he wants to go above or watch through a long angle. He's going to be the only one left standing, as Yala has done some more work to make sure that Noob goes down. But the diffuser has to be retrieved. They're going to go for that right now, and it's going to be the Zofia Enrico making that little work happen. He has to come back in, but Venetaus, he may have just put himself in a good position right now. I don't know if the drones are going to spot him, but Yala will go down. That's going to be the call out onto where his location is. Can he get the final kill? No, he's going to run away. And was that in time is the real question here. I don't think so. Enrico has gone all the way into reading. He's going for the plant. Venetaus has to get in. He's sprinting, but does he know which corner he's planting? And he'll see him and take the kill as well. He will not let the side of the attack win this, not on his watch, ladies and gentlemen. The 1v2 to deny the 2v5. Beautifully done by Spectre Gaming. More importantly, beautifully done by the mute right towards the end. Venetaus, excellent positioning, excellent game sense, knowing that even if he doesn't get the diffuser down, he can at least make the odds in his favor force the Zofia to go for the plant and force them to be in a position where he dictates the clauses of the round. The terms were his to make, and oh boy, did he make them work for his team. 3-0 is the scoreline going into the fourth round as Sage Empire find themselves in quite the bind early in this match on Cafe.
Attackers need to locate and
Most
defuse
definitely, a
bombs
0 to
they
3,
can.
looking at it just from the looks of it, you happen to see that 1v2 come out. It's a shutdown for the morale as well for what Sage Empire has been trying to do. I thought maybe finally they'll be able to get the first round in. Maybe we might see that push back, that push through coming in the early match with a 1-2 scoreline, looking to get that equalizer. Guess what just happened? A 3-0, a hat trick, and a full rotate that the side of the defense can make. Spectre Gaming, they've come more than just prepared, and this is what I love to see when it comes back to Division 3. I love to see the preparation that has gone in for the side of the team. It's clearly very visible.
5 seconds
Honestly,
left.
you know, there's so many teams that come out to this false pretense of preparation
locate and
with
defuse
what
the
they happen to
bomb.
go down into competitive siege. It's visible, guys. You know, when you do happen to put in the amount of work, it definitely shows, and we're able to see that right now. It's not just this single person being able to perform or outperform the entirety of the opponent team. It's coming down to a very coordinated, a very good teamwork that we're going to see here, just on the forefront of it. Definitely, there's a whole lot that goes on in the back end and in their perspective from the side of the players, and that's why we come down to not judging too many of their plays. Coming back to this round in specific, we've got our side once again back into cocktail. That aggression from Buckshot is something they were not anticipating, at least coming down to the last round. This time around, it's going to be an interesting take, that Buckshot. We might see him play that place again, but right now, it's the old and trusty Shiker spot from Vanitas and Noob with his mute jammers playing up close towards the side of the closet. Yala is made his way, and quite interestingly, so you happen to put a name like that, you should be expecting target bans come out if in case you happen to move ahead in these divisions. You know, honestly, Yala R4C is not the best of our name selections, but hey, Akash already picking up a kill, a frag here, or rather, excuse me, a fight here. Not sure if my vocab is on point today, but hey, I'm trying to quickly find my words as to what I can accommodate with the best ones. Right now, it'll be Akash still looking to accommodate a frag of his own. He's not been able to do that. Not yet. We might get to see that push happen any moment now. Watch the Boomer, still very confused. He knows exactly that the advantage got given away last time, and on this time, he does not want to do that. Pazu is down though. I think that down did come in. He asked doing something from downstairs. I'm not sure. Yala himself, solo on HP, looking to see to get that confirmation on the Pazu, but not yet. It's going to be a Riva that will come out from his teammate instead. Aereo, though, is going to get a quick first frag for this match, and that's Yala I just happened to talk about. If Baba would be here, we definitely had the oh yeah come in with we definitely would have the oh yeah come in with the Jordanian operator being picked over here. But hey, most definitely it's going to be an interesting 50 seconds that is left, because I'm getting to see all these attackers just make their way on the side, on the cigar, and it's just these gunfights that we got to look out for.
Most certainly, Rodrigo's going to start things off by finding Venetaus, a much-needed kill right there. Watcher Boomer pretty low on HP, so is Pazu, but of course he got downed and revived. And right now we have the Oryx, Aoreo, trying to just clear a moment when he can go for a, just, you know, what you love to see, the hatch play, the ninja play right there, to jump. That may or may not elevate the side of Spectre Gaming into yet another round situation. Not quite there yet, but 10 seconds remain as Sage needs to get in with Pazu. Found one more. Enrico goes down. Aereo finds another one. Can he find a couple more? Manticore's found one. Noob to go down, but the plant will not happen. The defuse has been dropped, and both bodies go down as well. Too messy, far too messy from the side of Sage Empire, as they really did not have any handle on the way they needed to play in that situation. Spectre Gaming, on the other hand, not exactly the cleanest round in the world for them either, but they came out of that off the hand of the Jaeger and the Oryx, playing the round as best as they could. Unfortunate for Sage Empire, but they will not be able to take any attacking rounds so far, as it's been the defending team time and time again. Even though with the way Venetas went down first. You had Pazu down. The kill couldn't be confirmed, sure, but that's a very low on HP Castle. That wasn't exactly, capitalized on, and not really. Given the way the
Attackers
push
need to
happened, it
locate
was
and defuse
all
the bomb.
from that Heaven balcony and from Cigar Shop's entry door. Very much bottlenecked. I don't think there was much of an attempted push from the side of Piano either. Sage Empire, very much all over the place. They're going to need to work on this in this match just a little bit to give themselves just a little bit more of a chance to win this, because Spectre Gaming, a couple of the rounds that they have won have either been down to some good
Bomb located by
clutches,
attackers.
which, while good in their own regard, shouldn't have happened to begin with, and that last
10
round
seconds left
just
before insertion.
really should not have been that comfortable for Spectre Gaming to turn around
5 seconds
that
left.
quickly. They lost the lead in the man count. They didn't have the momentum,
Attackers are heading
but
out to
somehow they managed to wring out a couple of kills, drop the diffuser. Most importantly, dropping the diffuser just there, right inside of third floor bar. That was where the entire round and all of the effort put in by Sage Empire up till that point was lost. They're going to need to work on that if they want this round to go their way in this 4-0 situation
located
that
by
Spectre
attackers.
is in the lead on.
Most definitely. Something I was just thinking about, just off cam, or rather off mic for a while, is I'd be interested to take a look at today's stats and scoreboards that went down for the teams, and just able to anticipate who's going to be leading in the week 1 charts for the MVP for Division 3, because I think that's a place where competition does happen to be quite a lot. Especially when you come down to this, but hey, I think that's something we'll be able to catch up with the admins later on. That quick information, but right now it's going to be the top floor take that has been so far so easy for the side of the attackers. They've made their way up top. Sage Empire, we've gotten to see them make their headway on the side, just otherwise with a little less easy. Look at that peek from the Kai, just able to walk away with the AMG pre-fire on the big bakery door. How was that allowed to happen? I'm not sure what Montrosky should have had that cover coming in from Washta Boomer. I'm sure he did, but it's just that the off angle of the guy working out for him, just all the while more better, I guess. He's still got a minute and 20 remaining, and he's still got the side of the attackers to make the push happen. And guess what? We've got the ace taken down, and that means the breach will not be happening anymore. This is something I think the side of Sage Empire has been finding challenging. It's going to come down to these very expected pushes from the side of the attackers. It's going to come down to these staircases and the hallways that they'll have to peek. And there you go, Buckshot gets up and just is able to quantify the advantage I was talking in words into the round count, because just from the way it looks like Spectre Gaming, once again, they are on their way to get another possible round. That might differ though. We've still got Edrico fighting back. He's going to get a frag onto, that's going to be on Kaid. A quick refrag, but just not enough to equalize the man count. We've still got Buckshot playing in a very off angle, very influential position that might turn out to be. He's still got this hole coming in from his own side. Not got the push happen from the side of the attackers. 4 versus 3, like I said. They still got Manticore up top. 20 seconds left. The clock is ticking. The push has got to come out. No, very intelligent move. He's just going to gas himself.
15 seconds to go.
It's not going to come out as anything else but a very late and a very... I don't see this push going anywhere. 5 seconds left. The clock is already taken. Manticore gets a frag, but for how long? Wait a minute. They're on the side. They're going for the plan. Just being stuck at the last moment. There's only one person left. Buckshot. He's got to go for the denial. And yes, he gets it. Buckshot with the denial.
Oh.
Still alive on round 4. What did we just get to witness? He just comes around the corner, saves the day for his team, swings wide from the side of Bakery, and that's just the play, I guess. He swings wide from the side of Freezer, rather. And what did we just get to witness is these 5 rounds back to back, showing us what peak performance looks like as a team. It's been Spectre Gaming at it, man. There's definitely 5 great rounds of Siege that we've just got to see.
I mean, we talked about this in the qualifiers when we saw Spectre Gaming coming back after a little bit of an unfortunate situation in the previous season with Buckshot in tow. Both Foxy, myself, and of course when I was casting with Baba made note of the fact that Buckshot was here, and he really didn't seem like holding anything back. And well, ladies and gentlemen, that is certainly quite the play from the main man of the hour. I mean, pretty sure that's a solid contender already for play of the week. Look at him sharing the top spot in terms of kills. 6, 6, and 6 between Buckshot, Pazu, and Aoreo going into the 6th round. I mean, that's a ton of sixes right there. Not sure when we converted this into a game of cricket, but regardless of the joke of kind of a bad joke, I know. But anyway, back to the point at hand. The 6th round, last round before roll swap. And oh boy, did Buckshot ever pull that last round out of a very dire situation. I mean, just sitting here, you know, both me and Foxy, we were like, Foxy was of course mentioning it on cast. He was saying that it doesn't really seem like the round was about to go anywhere. It really didn't feel like Sage Empire were about to win. We were trying to go for an early C4, not going to get that, unfortunate. But then you had the kills coming out. Boomer went in. He baited the plan, got a kill. You had Manticore taking another one, and then suddenly it's a 1v3 for Buckshot, and the plant has just gone down. Only one of 3 things could have happened. It goes into post plant, and Buckshot somehow clutches it. Buckshot manages to deny the plant, or he gets taken out trying. And oh boy, did he ever deny the plant. Coming in, I'm pretty sure the plant was almost done as well. I think barely, what, a second and a half remaining on that timer. Oh man, that was something very, very close indeed, ladies and gentlemen. As the 6th round has commenced, a little bit of explosiveness here and there, mostly on the 3rd floor. Given the fact that they want their breaches done, they want to have, as in the side of Sage Empire, want to have their breaches done, want to have their entries secure, but hello, watch the Boomer's already inside of mining. Can somebody stop him? Will they see him? Yes, they will. Aoreo comes in just in time to deny the Twitch, and a big denial. It is, you have Boomer gone. He was one of the players making plays, especially in the last round. Had he not baited the plant and gotten the kill when he did, the plant wouldn't have even happened. The round would have been lost in a much earlier situation. And, you know, in a little bit of an ironic twist, we wouldn't have had Buckshot's play to consider for play of the week. But, you know, poetic irony aside, we got Yala pushing up on the white corridor. Is he going to see anybody? Not quite yet. Tons of shots are being fired. Aoreo will be the first one to fall from the side of the defense. Manticore takes him down, as you have plenty of utilities being used to try and deal with the clash. Venetaus on that red carpet hallway doing a ton of work, but no, Azu was the one doing that. He will actually go down. Unfortunate. Buckshot once again on the flank. Going around, he's going to be hurt. But the Zofia, I'm not sure what she was doing right there. Probably switching into her main weapon. Probably going into the launcher. But Ya's going to come around. Gets taken out as well. It's all Buckshot, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing the work. And Manticore goes down to Venetaus. The shotgun comes off. As it is now a 1v3. Down comes in onto the mute, as Venetaus will fall down onto brown stairs, but that still leaves Buckshot and Noob very much alive. Does Munchowski know any of their positions? No, he does not. Spectre Gaming will be the ones to take round 6 far more comfortable on 2nd floor reading in round 6 than they were in the first half, playing kitchen. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe there could not have been a greater polar opposite match from the last game that we had. Why do I say that? Because looking back, Wolframite versus Heat at half point was 3-3. The result of that game was 8-6 in favor of Wolframite. That match went overtime. And this one, we're already at match point. 6-0 to the side of Spectre Gaming, with almost no competition aside from 2 rounds from Sage Empire. And both of those rounds where they actually put up competition, what goes down as our cliff notes? A 1v2 by Venetaus and a plant denial by Buckshot. Plenty of errors for Sage Empire. Plenty. And I don't think, and at this point, even plenty could be an understatement, depending on how you look at it. Sage really, really needs to work on this, and unfortunately, they really are not. Excuse me right there. And, you know, something I kind of forgot to mention, if I may say so myself, excuse me right there, this is also a little bit of a revenge match going on between both teams of Spectre and Sage. Spectre is shall we say, really running away with it, even if it is a revenge match, ladies and gentlemen. This kind of domination.
Attackers are heading out to defuse the
This
bomb.
is, oh boy, this is a match and a half. Action phase comes in. Sage Empire on the defense on Cafe. Can they make it work? Or will Spectre Gaming completely finish off this one-sided domination train?
You know, just the way we happen to see this come out to be a revenge match, and just the way it is, it's you know, you happen to come up with this saying and come across it quite a bit, I guess. Revenge is best served cold, and so far it's been quite cold often performance from the start of Stage Empire. Not exactly
located by
warming up to
attackers.
things. Washed up Boomer. Finally, he'll start things off. That'll be the first track to start off Spectre Gaming. Is looking to make amends to it. Venatus will not be affecting the round anymore. We're getting to see that defensive strat come out from the side of the defense with their roam play being a little more important than what they have on side. I don't blame them, honestly. You've got good players that are good gunners. Want to make sure that they come out with the maximum of what they happen to share. I still got the push happening on the site, and that might come out any moment now. We've still not got to see that coming out. With Spectre Gaming, on the other hand, is definitely turned out to be this one bloodluster team that is looking for getting this victory on. I was not expecting to watch a 7-0 go out into Division 3, but that's not what I'm seeing right now as well. I think Sage Empire, they still have a fight left in them. I think they can still maybe at least try and fight back against what Spectre Gaming has brought on today. But one thing is for sure, Spectre Gaming is definitely showed us what peak performance looks like. Push coming in from Noob. He's going to make his way on the side of Cigars. We've not got the Vigil coming up any moment now. That the Vigil won't be vibing around as well. She is getting taken care of. I think this is going a little bit better than what I was expecting to go for Spectre Gaming, with the first kill coming out. That Venatus, there'll no more be flank watch. There'll no more be that little extra, the gridlock track stingers you can always rely on. But Aoreo, the one who's really confused right now, the Zopi has got to make the push up on the white, and there you go, he's gonna get taken down. These are some angles that are really tricky, and you really need to make work around them. And here we are, just not working out for the side of Spectre Gaming this time around. Looks like they're getting a little taste of their own medicine, but most definitely it was not these kind of plays that we got to see from the side of Spectre, though. Now that Sage Empire does happen to be on defense, and 2 more kills follow up after that. It's all down to my man Noob, left alone all of a sudden, quite interestingly so, and he'll get taken down as well. Round 7 does go to Sage Empire. They'll be having themselves a breather, at least for now, and not out. It's not a 7-0. Like I said, not what you expect to come out from the Division 3 match, and that's exactly what it is. A 6-1 will be at round 8, but it's still Spectre Gaming on match point. They're still looking to make that conversion happen. They're 1 round away from taking it all away with them on the opening day of Division 3, while on the other hand, we've got a team that is Sage Empire struggling to make that push happen, make that push in the scoreboard, possibly take us to overtime. Will that be the case or not is most definitely a long journey for the taking. Let's see what they have in store.
And, you know, all things considered, ladies and gentlemen, it's one of those situations that really does not speak well of a certain team. In this case, Sage Empire. They are far better than what they have shown us today, and we're not entirely certain why that is
Attackers
the
need to
case. I
locate
say
and
that,
defuse bombs.
excuse me right there, primarily because Sage is a team that has,
Attackers have located a bomb.
while not on every occasion, on some occasions shown us that they can be far greater than what they are in general. They're a team that suffers from inconsistency issues. They suffer from, you know, miscommunication and sometimes even some odd call-out decisions, you know, where we see, excuse me right there, where we see what should be the call-out, they somehow don't manage to peak that way, or something or the other goes wrong. It's a team that has had many issues before, but they are a team that has shown us on the odd occasion that they can make
5 seconds
it
to
work,
go.
and when they make it work, they make it work very well indeed. It all comes
Attackers
down
are heading out
to
to
these
defuse a bomb.
odd days, these odd matches where nothing seems to be clicking. And while, you know, certainly one could say that a bad day is not an excuse for bad performance across all the rounds of the match, you know, the match isn't quite over yet, and it's not as if Sage didn't do any good performances either. There were some patches where it really should have been theirs, but for whatever reason, the confirmation went through, and they had other issues to deal with that stopped them from winning the round. That is nothing against Spectre Gaming as well. Spectre Gaming themselves, the fact that they have managed to make us really feel like they have come a long way from where we saw at the beginning of qualifiers and the previous season is down to them working really hard, studying Sage Empire, and understanding that they have issues in these areas, and we need to push accordingly. Both of these teams are bringing out whatever they can in this match situation, and it's just the fact that Spectre Gaming on multiple occasions have managed to outdo whatever Sage Empire have brought out. That is no excuse for either side. It's simply that Spectre have outdone Sage Empire, nothing more, nothing less. Montrosky, right now, excuse me right there, is already down below. Not sure why I said Montrosky. Aoreo is going to be the one on red stairs, but Yala will be the first one to fall. Pazman starts things off by taking down a big operator. That is your vigil of the board. A big component of the roam gone as the Candelas are being used all the way out on top floor. I'm not sure what the thinking is right there, but Aoreo, oh man, he would have gone down, but Ventus came in, and Boomer unfortunately missed nearly all of his shots after the first few that he hit onto the Amaru. Minute 10 remains for the Satisfactory Gaming. They are in the advantage 5-3. They are on match point. They can make this work. As the cluster charges from Ventus go out, is that the death knell for the side of Sage Empire? It very well could be, as Buckshot's going to find another one. Adrico goes down. He tried to go for a bit of a flank, failed unfortunately, as it's all happening now. The cluster charge will actually get one. What was even that? What was that? Oh boy, noob. That was a little unfortunate. Went through the smoke, missed the knife. I'm not even sure what Smoke was doing. I think he missed the fact that the Ying was there entirely. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for the side of Spectre Gaming. They are going to be the ones to win out your match on Cafe Dostoevsky over the side of Sage Empire. 10 kills to Buckshot right at the end. Good stuff from him, good stuff from his team. Unfortunately, Sage Empire will need to continue to work on their game plan, their communication. There's plenty of errors there. Don't get me wrong, it was a bad showing for the side of Sage Empire, and that is like putting it lightly. I'm pretty sure our viewers in chat may have more colorful words to share about that performance. But in a general statement, Sage Empire did not play it well, and there are plenty of issues with them that really reared their head in this match, and I really hope that they can improve going forward from here, because they're a team that has shown us glimpses of a far greater set of potential that they can bring out. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going into Relive the Moment right here to talk about the highlights of the match that we just had. Although most of it, especially in a couple of rounds, are going to be Spectre Gaming related, it's still worthwhile to look at down to how Spectre Gaming sort of sunk their claws into this match and read into what Sage Empire was doing, where Sage could improve, where they couldn't. And I believe in this situation, none more than Foxy will be better suited to take us through this sort of highlights reel. So, Foxy, please take it away.
You know, just able to come off from the conversation, I think, where you left off, where it was Sage Empire not exactly performing or playing to the best of performances, I guess. Today, it was just not that, honestly. It's just not the fact that Sage Empire came up with a rather subpar performance. It was Spectre Gaming that came up with a little better performance than what you usually see teams come out with. Spectre Gaming was on point today, and like I said, every time I happen to talk about these teams in the match, it was the fact that Spectre was so much more prepared, so much more in control every time of the situation. It's very clearly visible. Look at these clutches that came out from Spectre Gaming for that matter. We did see one of them come out, we saw at least almost about three of them. Oh, well, only two of them could make a conversion happen, but most definitely something that does bring into this conversation is the fact that Spectre Gaming was more than just bloodlusted. They were looking to make this revenge match more than just a match. They were looking to get this victory for themselves. They look so prepared. I can really make it out from the way they happen to be moving around the map. You see so many things of these just specifically designed to dismantle the entirety of Sage Empire. This is what happens when the pool does reach a saturation point, I guess. But hey, you look at this clutch from Buckshot, just swings in white from the side of Freezer, and just gets that denial, and then I think that denial alone from the side of Freezer does happen to cement my statement a whole lot more that revenge is best served cold. See what I did there, Blackjack? No. So it's going to be another
I
one,
did.
one in the wind, but that's okay. We had quite the match come on, and quite the fast and a quick match. Blackjack. You happen to see the last match come out with almost maximum overtime being hit, with more than 3 rehosts that we saw happen, and here we are on the other end with Spectre Gaming just telling us, hey, you know what? Don't really want to stress your vocal cords today. We're going to give you a short match. We're going to make it quick. We're going to make it easy, and we're going to make it look easy. At least that's what it looked like. Definitely looked very easy for Spectre Gaming to take advantage of, and that's what it did. Just made sure everything went right and went just there at the right place at the right time. It was just more than that took for a team to get to this point, and that is it. My 2 cents on what just went down in the match, and quite interestingly, so a quick highlight reel for us into reliving the moments.
Most certainly. And at the end of the day, just like we have stressed multiple times, it's just come down to the fact that Spectre Gaming was very much prepared for what they needed to do. And their push, their holds, all of it was specifically designed to make sure that Sage Empire gets nearly nothing in their attempted attack strategies. Unfortunately, the same could not be said for Sage, but hopefully it can be sooner rather than later. However, of course, that is going to do it for this match that we just had, as Spectre Gaming take the revenge match against Sage Empire 7-1, a polar opposite of the match that we had before this. But of course, we've still got one more match to go, and we'll be returning to Oregon for Team Area 69 taking on Saw Faith. We'll see you guys there after a quick break. Stay tuned.
We head for the sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we are crashing down again, pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want, this time I won't take it to the heart. Cause I know we won't make it out, I've heard it all before. Yeah, tell me what you want, let me hear that I'm the only one. You know that we won't make it out, we've heard it all before. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright, so let's move on. 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 We head for the sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we are crashing down again, pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want, this time I won't take it to the heart. Cause I know we won't make it out, I've heard it all before. Yeah, tell me what you want, let me hear that I'm the only one. You know that we won't make it out, we've heard it all before. It's alright. Hey. It's alright. Hey. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright, so let's move on. 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 It's alright.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League 4 Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft, here with your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host, Foxtrot, and our admin, Eisen, as we are here for the final game of the first day of Division 3 and the Division stage of Season 4, and the first division day of the Pro League in 2021, as we'll be going into the map of Oregon once again to find Team Area 69 taking on the team Saw Faith. As we're going to be joining the players in just a quick second. We've had two very different games, all things considered, in the first two matches. An 8-6 victory for the side of Wolframite Esports in the first match for Team Heat, and then a 7-1 for Spectre Gaming over Sage Empire. This match is certainly going to be quite interesting. Given the trend, it could either go all the way, or it could be a very quick one, or it could find itself somewhere in the middle. Which will it be? Let's find out by joining the players live on your screens right now. In the middle of the ban phase, Thatcher has been the first one to be banned by Saw Faith. Not really too surprising, all things considered. Thatcher bans on Oregon, on any map, it's very common. But here we have an interesting one. Maverick will be banned by Team Area 69. They're the ones on the attack, and they have decided to ban the Maverick. Not too sure as to why that is the case. Excuse me right there. But regardless, I guess they don't want to play with or against the Maverick, given his prowess in breaching hatches. And there you go, the expected ban, given the attacker bans in this situation. Kaid will be the one to get taken care of, and that is a very Clubhouse-esque ban here on Oregon that we're seeing from both Team Area 69 and Saw Fate. The last ban from Saw remains, and it will be, after the timer ticks down, Wamai to finish things off. At this point, I'm tempted to ask, is this Clubhouse that we're seeing in secret just disguised as Oregon in the information we have? Of course it's not. It is Oregon, ladies and gentlemen, that we will be going into, and the bans have been taken care of as well. Thatcher, excuse me right there. Thatcher, Maverick, Kaid, and Wamai are your bans here on Oregon. Speaking of which, before we get into the first round, let's have a look at both the rosters that are here in the lobby for ourselves today. From the side of Team Area 69, we've got Sumane, or Sumain, depending on your persuasion, Weejay, Money, Knight, and Abe. I still laugh a little bit pronouncing that one. And from the side of Saw Fate, this is interesting. We're seeing Hulky, Hellboy, No Skill, JD, and Nanny, as they will be headed onto second floor kids dorms and dorms main hall for the very first round of this encounter. And I've kept the man from the mic long enough. Foxy, get away.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction, Blackjack. Starting to tuck in my shirt in that little duration as well. But we're back here, and yes, it's most definitely these names that do get a little bit of our attention. Most of it, maybe, most definitely, that attention will get diverted towards the game as we happen to go ahead into this match. And just from the looks of it,
10 seconds remaining.
expecting a little more than what we expect from a normal, from an average Oregon map. It's going to come down to seeing how we see the side of Saw Faith perform. Most definitely something I have my eyes upon. Just from the relation I happen to share with Hulky, just off of that. But yeah, just from this team coming back into Division 3 and just stepping in to add themselves to this amazing set of teams that play here, it's going to be an interesting take to see how they happen to come around things and move things around for themselves. Speaking of Area 69, though, it's a no-brainer that this team likes to take gunfights. They like to play this. They've been an old team as well, just as you happen to speak about it. A team that has been back and forth between Division 3 and Division 2. So there's so much history that both of these players in the lobby share. So it's good to catch this match on stream, that's for sure. Just appreciating the moment that we are in right now was definitely something that it requires, because you think about this, all of this scheduling and whatnot does go down to the credit of the admins to make sure that we have the most action of R6 in the truest sense coming to us. So the random shout out over there will be moving ahead with the push from the side of Zofia coming in, the armory push, and Hellboy playing in this position. Oh, this might just be the play that he needs to make for the start of the defense. But right now, it's the drone works that are coming in and that are looking to get stopped. Hellboy, his position given away, and the Kali, there's so much that he's got to fight against. He's just going to move himself inside the closet and turn this into a possible very fish in a battle moment for him, honestly. You happen to see that cover come in from the side of the hallway, but this is going to be more than enough to just able to walk away with so much more attention than he's expecting. And here you go. The first kill comes in. That's going to be from Nanny. Here comes another from no skill. He's looking to get another. The push up from Thermite is going to get stopped. Yes, there you go. The cleanup from the side of Soft Faith as the side of Area 69 crumble under the pressure, crumble under the bait play that just worked out for them, walking right into their plan and right into their trap. It's a 2 versus 4 as we just saw Mani walk away with a double kill as he got a kill with his gun and the claymore. But interestingly so, we'll see that kill coming from JD. Does he get the finish up kill as well? We all are very aggressively Mani trying to get this triple and the quad for himself. We might be getting this clutch for him. Yes, he might be. The quad kill comes in from Mani. He's looking to get the final one as well. Where is Hulky? It's a 1v1 of a lifetime, people. This is no Zofia, but this is still something that Hulky's got to be scared of. It's the Kali. A 1 versus 1 with 20 seconds remaining. It's the location given away as well with the drone works that just came in. We'll be seeing this long angle being employed. Hulky does not anticipate this. The reinforcement is what is helping him right now. 10 seconds left. No drone works. It's going to be a face check for the Kali. And this is not the best of angles to work on with Hulky as well, or is it? It will be. Hulky gets the final frag and Soft Faith will prevail, at least in this match, at least for the first round. Round 1 goes to them off of a beautiful clutch and a beautiful strategy working out for the side of Soft Faith. We'll be headed to round 2.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think that entire late round can be summarized with simply saying that Saw Faith got far, far too kill hungry right towards the end. They did an excellent job holding Master Bedroom, given the fact that excuse me, it seemed as if the meat was in a fish in a barrel situation that both, myself and Foxy were sort of speculating for. Foxy on cast, myself here, just meted seeing the situation.
The reason I happen to talk about that fish in a barrel moment is I think it turned out to be this very weird of things from the start of the attack that nobody was carrying nades with them.
That is true, though. That is true. Yeah, no one had nades.
The Oregon come out. Usually, there's nades that you need, but I guess that's something Area 69 didn't want to bring out last round.
Could have been. Well, we're seeing the Iana with a couple of grenades in this round, so that's an immediate change. That is a good change, all things considered. Team Area 69 isn't exactly, isn't exactly bad with grenades. We've seen them pull off a couple of chef nades before. So I'm not sure what the decision making was in that situation. Just one grenade, really. Some sort of explosive with enough power to take out the mute, and suddenly that entire trophy push would have been dismantled. Trophy hold, could have been dismantled. You, of course, still had the remaining members of Saw Faith playing around the trophy door, dancing around inside of that area as well. But then as soon as it became a 2 versus 5, suddenly everybody started charging that main trophy entrance, that bedroom entrance as well. And that really gave Money 4 kills to work with. I mean, wow. He must have been feeling the adrenaline pumping in his veins. Unfortunately, I was, outside of the bullets that went into his head, that was the only thing that pumped in his veins in that particular moment. And, excuse me, and Hulky, of course, made sure that nothing more could happen for the Kali in that situation. Had that been an ace clutch, ladies and gentlemen, that would have been one for the ages for Division 3. But it wasn't to be, as Saw Faith ended up proving to us. A very good early round, a little bit marred by, once again, that very kill-hungry mid-round. I'm really... if Soft Faith continues to do that, they're going to have some sticky situations to work with in future that I'm sure Team Area 69 will not allow them to get away with. Should it come to that? Of course, I'm fairly certain it won't, but then again, that first round in and of itself has already told me not to quite trust my instincts when it comes to this, when it comes to the team playing for Soft Faith right now. These players, they can be unpredictable. We've known that before. Saw by themselves aren't exactly the most predictable bunch of players when it comes to a team in Div B, but even then they can pull off some really slick stuff as No Skill's going to take down the Zofia coming down the back stairs very quickly. Even though he was the one on the back foot, I believe the Zofia was the one to peak first, and even then the Jaeger wins the gunfight. One grenade goes out, burns the ADS, the second will come in, second ADS to catch that, as No Skill will still be safe, holding on the elbow as Hellboy. Was that a one tap? I think that may have been. Knight will go down, Nanny finds another, Sumane goes down as well, and it's all now down to Weejay and Money. Once again, deja vu moment from round one, but they're doing it a different side, but no, Money will go down, missing the shot onto No Skill. And No Skill getting the down. It's all now onto Weejay. He's going to get the revive off, seeing as there's no hyper-aggressive push coming in this time. But, excuse me right there, even then, they're going to come in and they're going to see if they can make this work. No, not quite. Weejay takes a lot of shots, gets taken down. No Skill comes in, and it's now all down to Money. Once again, 1 versus 5 this time. 20 seconds on hand, and looks like he's going to be chilling just outside of the map. Unfortunate, but there ain't much that he can do in this situation. He knows it, given that he has only 20 HP remaining.
5 seconds.
And the side of Soft are more than happy to just chill out. One guy goes out, gets taken down. The second one won't even. Then he comes in, gets the kill, finishes it off, and with that, we'll be seeing it in the instant replay, as this time we had a same situation from the side of Saw. They really just, they really just tore through the side of the attack. Unfortunately, Team Area 69 seemed to have almost no response, and this time there was no hyper-aggressive 2 versus 5 push that turned into, say, a 1 versus 1 like we saw in the first round. None of that for round 2. It'll be 2-0 for the side of Saw Faith going into the third round as we head into Meeting Hall and Kitchen on first floor.
That's right. That's exactly where we're headed, to Meeting Hall and Kitchen. So 2 rounds in already in the back for the side of Saw Faith. They're looking to make that complete rotation of sorts, like I like to call it, the 3-side rotation. Maybe this might just be the play that they need right now, but hey, it's been 2 impressive rounds of defense I got to see once again. It's not like Area 69 is not a team that really needs spoon feeding at this point. They know exactly what's up, but it's just not enough to cut through what Saw Faith has brought on board. It's definitely maybe one of those reasons that you come out, Hulky especially, I like to talk about, coming out from a T1 level of play towards here into D3. You're able to share that kind of experience with the players you're able to play with. I'm sure Hellboy, No Skills, JD, and Nanny have had a lot to take away from him, just able to add up and change up to what you want to bring out in this match. But hey, it's still a roster. We've seen teams of this caliber come out quite a bit, and I'm actually kind of glad we're getting to see such a power-packed match early on into this league. Area 69 versus Saw Faith getting done and dusted in the beginning itself, which is really making us understand what the power structure for D3 this month is going to be like. Who's going to most likely come out on top? Who's going to most likely be out on bottom? These are the kind of things I always look out for, and hey, it's most definitely very informative to me as we happen to add all of this information. We are getting to see some pre-fires and crossfires being established here. That'll come out from the side of Armory. That was a good play of an attempt from the side of the defense, but not yet. They're still not in the position to make that into a possible conversion. JD still watching the side of Zulu. We've got Nanny playing on the side of Tower. So this could be the play for the man. They've not got a whole lot of happening though. Nanny still looking to make the play that I'm talking about. He's not got him droned out yet. The Kali watching this flanco. This might just not be the play for him. Is he going for it? Yes, he does. He watches. He knows exactly where that Kali was playing. He's seen her, or he's choosing not to engage, and that's a wise decision. JD walks away with a headshot meanwhile, and that's quite interestingly going to be Millie taken off the board. The Zofia not alive anymore, not influential anymore. Does happen to make me ask the question if the side of Area 69 once again are they falling apart a little too quickly. There's no the Ash. He gets fragged. Nanny will get shut down. Here's the push in that'll get stopped. Quite interestingly, so JD's position, how is it not being given away? How is this communication not happened from Area 69? Able to walk away with the frag from the same angle, and look at this man. Just able to go to that peak on the breach, had the Kali and the Ace and the Thermite peek at him at the same time. He thought, all right, there's three people. I might as well find one of them. He found all three of them, unfortunately. So still got a 3 versus 3 re-established back into effect. And this play from Hellboy might just be the play that they need to make. Not yet. Still got the kill coming in from the side of Hulky. That's a very important one. The close quarter combat is what has worked out for the Melusi so far. Very confused, these attackers. They're looking to see if the flank is still coming in from up top. Hellboy with the angle. Very good one. Hulky does the job. Meanwhile, this is quite the round. Once again, for Soft Faith. As we see the breach happen. But is that even useful? Shotgun to the face. Does not connect at first, but it does eventually connect. Soft Faith. Get round 3 on board. And that was the play, people. That is the game.
Well, what a game. What a game in that third round from Saw Faith, as we'll see in the instant replay. And, all things considered, sure, there were a few moments where it seemed like Area 69 might be able to take things back in their own terms, in their own pocket. Unfortunately, it was not to be. And, just like Foxy asked, how was the communication on Castle not done? He was still in the hallway very late into that round, into the push, into his lifespan in that round, I should say. And unfortunately, for the side of Area 69, he was still more than ready to completely take down the side of the
Attackers need to locate and defuse
side of the
bombs.
attack. The Ash, unfortunately, not knowing that he was out there, getting taken down, and putting a bit of a dent in the plan of a Team Area 69. And all things considered, if there's anything that really stuck out to me in that last round is how, while we were spectating the castle, he went back into side, decided to peek the beat, see if he could get anyone, Kali, you had Ace, you had Thermite. He found all three looking at him. It was quite literally a situation of you picked the wrong house, and
10 seconds to go.
he definitely felt that going into the kill cam picture, as it were. Anyway,
Attackers
coming
must
back
locate and
into
defuse a
the come back into the round at hand. The fourth round we'll see is going back to the into the site of second floor, Kids Dorms and Dorms main hall, from the side of Saw Faith, who are currently looking at making their second victory lap around the map of Oregon. They've already done it once, and they are looking to do it twice. But something that Saw Faith has struggled with before is is getting a bit too far ahead of themselves and giving away multiple rounds in situations where they shouldn't. Now, with Hulky playing in this setup, I certainly expect that to be a little less so than before. Then again, like I mentioned back in round 2, with this setup that Saw is playing with, I probably should learn not to trust my gut too often for this team. Unpredictability, after all, is Division 3's strongest suit, and we're gonna find if that is gonna catch us off guard yet again. He's gonna go for the run. He's gonna find one. No, not quite. He does on the repeat, and that is money. Taken down. The Kali will be the first one to fall, somehow not getting the kill when he needed to. Diego will be droned out, but no Skelees is gonna be allowed safe passage back up onto White Stairs, with only the classroom corridor being watched by the side of the attackers, and nothing much other than that. Knight trying to cover a lower angle from the main stairs, making sure that he doesn't come up laundry, as in the meanwhile,
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
excuse me right there, Nanny, he's going to find one more. Vijay goes down. That's another big drop from the side of Team Area 69. And Abe, in the meanwhile, is going to fire back, finding Hulky. 3 versus 4 is the situation with a minute and 10 remaining. No skills coming up. He's seen one is out of classroom. Pre-fires. He finds 2 somehow and is caught on the reload. The Jaeger. How does he get away with that is the question that we've been asking a lot today. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to put Sumane, last man standing, last man to go down as well. Hellboy manages to connect, even though he did get down. That's why we won't see it from their perspective. We'll see it from Nani, who was busy watching vertical. Ladies and gentlemen, what a round What a round indeed from this side of Saw Fate. They'll be the ones to go 4-0 up as Area 69 continues to grapple with the situation that they they have found themselves in. The fifth round will be underway as basement, laundry, and supply room will be the site of choice.
That was quite the positioning coming out from the side of the defense once again, and this is exactly what I'm trying to say, right? You see experience at work, you know it, and that's what it is. These positions that are coming out from the side of Saw just completely for their
Attackers need to
advantage
locate
and
and
for their
defuse as
taking.
many bombs as
Area
they can.
69 a little all over the place. I get it, that's their play style. It's worked out for them yet, but not against Saw Fate. It definitely won't. You know, just as you happen to see Area 69 play this out with the rest of the teams, it might as well work out. Honestly, it might because it has. Right now, it's just not the play that they're able to make. It most definitely is, most definitely soft way that is trying to stay up in this competition a little more influential than their counterparts. 4 to
10
0.
seconds to
We're looking at the
insertion.
prep phase already underway. So looking so much more
5
unearthed
seconds
from the
left before
situation they were
insertion.
in the beginning. You saw the kind of ecstatic nature the players had in the
Locate
start
and
of this
defuse the
match.
bomb.
Not anymore. They know exactly what's up. They know that they have control into this match. They know that they're walking into this with confidence. And guess what? Nanny, he's just brought up the Echo. So not only does he have a gun that you've got to worry about now, he's got a drone as well that can stun you and push you if need be. Nani, one of those players, once again, I would really recommend everybody out there not to underestimate. He's this one single man that I've seen come out with so many of influential players. I go back to writing down the stats for the last league. I still remember every time around it would come down to Nani's name always being there frequently. So he's here in Div 3. It's most definitely going to be an interesting take to the way we see Echo being played. We've seen other teams come out and do this in this is somewhere in this vicinity as well. We've seen Sonic come out with these plays of Echo when it's Oregon and the site is on Laundry. That's another play from Ultra Instinct. So this kind of change up is what you're expecting, but it's something you've really got to be scared of. It's something you need to always account for. The Ash push already made on the side of blue bunkers. It's going to be towards the side of battles. We still don't see that push happen. Not yet, at least. No skill, though. Looking to make that possible name into, yes, skill. He's looking to find those frags once again, but he's not going to be able to do so. Not yet. There you go. He's going to start things off. He gets the first one. And now it's going to be this train that he embarks upon, this journey that he takes us on. Because usually you see players like this pop up, they keep popping off. They like to get those more frags coming in, and Carly almost getting shot at from him, but just ducking away that shot. He's going to stay alive for the while. Meanwhile, another kill did come in, and that was from the Thermite. Hellboy does refract quickly enough, so that was from the push happening from the backstairs, but Hellboy goes down as well. Quick refrag. Well done and dusted for the side of the attackers. Still got to worry about the defenders on site. They've got the push happening. All the while more easily this time around. But here's the Echo. Like I said, Nani standing up for his team. Hulky's gonna get revived and back on his feet. A 3 versus 2. Anything could happen. The push up from the lurker. That is the Zofia. This could be the influential play that they're looking to make. But no, he gets shut down for the rotation right then and there. Stop dead in their tracks. They know exactly where the Thermite is coming up from. Hulky with the shotgun in hand. He's looking to make the conversion. Yes, he will. Stop faith. Have my faith. Hulky just very carefree. So look at that. Let the man just get the shotgun kill and just reinforce that this is a very perfect example of just being so much in control that hey, you're enjoying the match, you're able to come out with performance that is better than your opponents. What else will you bring out? No unnecessary salt rubbing in. It's just normal stuff from the man himself. But hey, it's a 5 to 0, man. It's a little different of an outcome I was expecting when I heard the name Area 69 versus Saw Faith. But here we are, I guess.
I mean, yeah, the feeling is mutual here, Foxy. I completely understand the lack of words in favor of A69, seeing as they just, for
Attackers need to
whatever reason,
locate and
are
defuse as many
not
bombs as they
showing up
can.
today. This is certainly not the Area 69 we came in from qualifiers seeing, and most certainly not the Area 69 that went to Division 2 of all things. That is right, this is the team that made it to the second division of the Pro League. And sure, while in Div 2, they didn't exactly have a great time because they weren't ready at that time. I'd say they're even less ready now than they were back then. What is this performance that we're getting to see? And I'm trying not to be too harsh, like I said, for the previous game that we had,
10 seconds
excuse me,
left.
right there, between Sage Empire and Spectre Gaming,
5 seconds
there
left
are
before
bad
insertion.
days, and while bad days by themselves aren't exactly an excuse
Attackers'
or a
objective is to
reason
locate
to
a bomb
have,
and defuse it.
consistently bad play, sometimes it just isn't there. It just doesn't click for teams, for stacks. It really happens, on the odd occasion. And we touched on this a little bit more in the previous match itself. But I'm fairly certain that anyone who plays in a stack knows that there's just that one day where nothing seems to connect, where your shots aren't quite reaching their target, where your drone work just is a little off. The callouts, the comms aren't quite there. And to me, it seems like for both Sage and for Area 69, today is that day. A little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Even the best of the best have these days on occasion. And while it is certainly sad to see, it cannot be helped. At the end of the day, one must win, one must lose. And, excuse me, out there. For Area 69, they can still come off of this match with with having learned plenty of what they need to fix and where they need to go from here. Saw Fate certainly has taken today's match by surprise in more counts than one, as Noska's going to start things off by finding Ouija. That is a big drop indeed, and Samana and JD are going to find a couple of kills. JD on to the Sophia, and Area 69's excuse me right there. And in the meanwhile, we had the kill confirmed from Sumane onto one more, but the shotgun comes out, finds one, and unfortunately, Nani will come in along with the Valkyrie to find the final two. Sumane and Knight go down. And ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute steamroll that we're getting to see from the side of Saw Fate. It is a big, 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 big match. I said big quite a large number of times in that situation. I know, as it goes. But it's quite the gigantic round score for the side of Saw Fate. 6-0 in the first half. I mean, we're having a little bit of deja vu here, if you forgive us for using the same phrase for the second time in the same match. But, yeah, at this point, there's not much else to say, is there? At least in the previous one, we had like very, very close rounds in the first half itself. This time, it's not much of a contest at the end of the day, and it just feels bad to see for the side of Team Area 69, especially after what we saw from them in the qualifiers final day. Yeah, it's a little bit saddening, but hopefully they can bounce back from this, at least get a couple of rounds tonight before they move into their next match, whenever their next match on stream will be. Could be tomorrow, could be on day 3, ladies and gentlemen. We don't, all things considered, whatever their result in this match is, I really hope they come back and they do a much more thorough analysis of their play and of their opponents, because, much like Spectre Gaming, Saw Fate seems like they have come very much prepared, and they had a whole qualifiers worth of Area 69 streams to work with, seeing as A69 had to come up through the qualifiers again. So however they've been playing, which is a continuation of the way they played in qualifiers, it was there for all to see. And while Saw Fate isn't exactly playing much differently than they have before, it just comes down to Area 69 not really being prepared, not really being there, and Saw Fate completely shutting them down.
Yeah, honestly, Blackjack, you think about this. There's so many teams that try and take the mantle of Seva Esports when it comes down to a new season just starting
You
off.
did not have to. You did not have to. I'm just gonna stop you right there. You did not have to.
It's just one of those things. You have to see these teams do so much work in qualifiers that makes us expect stuff out of them. And when they do happen to move into divisions, it's some of these movements that they cannot just perform or are not able to. this is one of those moments. 6-0. Are we looking at a 7-0? The fight has already happened. Just look at the way Area 69 is attempting this. It's really amazing, and it's most definitely very comically bizarre. You see them taking these peaks and fights. It's like the a boxing rink that they have for themselves, that they are able to tag each other and just ascending one after another. Let's pick fights 1v5s, and let's not take these. Let's not approach this just the way the game is supposed to be. And it's somehow all the while more comical rather than embarrassing, because just from the looks of it, Saw Faith has most definitely come out to a better string of plays, at least for now. Not a whole lot, but at least for the while. It's a 6-0, very evidently so. We're seeing them push that for a possible 7-0 as well. 3 versus 4 right now. It's only down to the GSG9 brothers and the Malusi left alive with 1 minute to work with. We've got the push still happening from Hulky. Money takes some damage as well. No skill don't want to get taken down from the man as well. But here's the push up from the side of the defense. A quick cleanup with 3 frags dropping back to back. It's all on to JD. Man has got to make the push happen, but his position's been given away and his head has been taken away. Mani will get the final frag, and that'll be the bandit to take it. Area 69 still are looking to kid back, and look at this. Again, you see a deja vu moment happen once again. A 6-0 turned into a 6-1. Will we see this still turn into a 7-1 or not? Is the real question right now. Is what we're looking to see, is what I am looking to see get answered. So far, it's been Saw's match for sure. Saw has most definitely been all the while more powerful, but I really cannot count out Area 69 out of this fight. We've seen some amazing clutches happen. We've seen some amazing comebacks happen. And hey, what can stop me from believing that this might just be one of those?
It most certainly could be, all things considered. Area 69 have just taken the first round for themselves after what feels like the longest time, ladies and gentlemen.
Attackers need to locate
But
and defuse
regardless, where it's going to be interesting to see how Saw Faith reacts to them having taken the round, because that attacking round, oh, ooh, I think Money just took a little bit of a beating right there from Knight's shotgun. And I say Knight because Sumain was on the other side making a different rotate. Knight was the only one close enough to to the bandit, excuse me, to do that. And Money is a little bit low on HP as a result of that. Unfortunate. But, going back to the point at hand, I really want to see how Saw Faith reacts to the fact that Team Area 69 have finally taken a round. They were very much fast and loose in the previous round. They weren't exactly, coordinating or cooperating too much. It was more like, a bunch of solo plays trying to somehow coagulate into one big stack play. Didn't really quite happen. Even though they dismantled the attempted defense from Area 69, which was a similar defense on that trophy and master bedroom closet area with the shotgun very close to the door and whatnot. What we saw from round 1 of Saw Fate's defense really wasn't there for the side of Area 69. Right now, we've got an Ash already very close to the blue bunker door on Boiler, which is being watched by both Sumain with a shotgun and VJ from long. As the Ash charge comes in, takes out a ton of utility. But all that's done is give away positions. But no, Sumane will still go down. He was running away and he gets caught by Twitch. Nanny gets that. Throws the flashbang in. Throws 2. Knows that there's a flashbang. Knows that there's an ADS in there. But the Jaeger will still go down on the repeat. Nanny, beautiful shot right there. It's a 3 versus 5. And with Money half on HP, it's not going to look too good. But a Bay comes in, gets 1. That's the Malusi. Can he get 2? Not quite. Runs headfirst into the Ash. And No Skill will take 2 as a result of that. Take 3. And Saw Faith completely dominating on their attack round as well. One round was all that Area 69 were able to take. It put Saw on the warpath, and they came out quickly with a swift, victorious smile on their faces. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for all the stream matches today, as the final result of the final game, with No Skill at 12 kills for the match, is going to be 7-1 in favor of the side of Saw Faith. What a train, an absolute steamroll, if I may, because excuse me, in the previous match, there were still some rounds for the side of Sage Empire that should have and could have potentially gone their way. Spectre really just outdid them with the clutches. There wasn't much for the side of Area 16. There really wasn't. Like, this one is even more of a polar opposite to the first match than the second one was. I mean, we were sort of commenting on the dramatic irony of an 8-6 going into a 7-1. This one is even more of like an extremely different game to the one we had at the very beginning. Speaking of which, let's have a look at the highlights of the match that we just had in Relive the Moment, going live on your screens right now, where we talk about the big talking points of the match that we just saw. Excuse me, right there. And it's certainly going to be very interesting to look at this as Foxy guides us through them. Foxy, over to you.
Thank you for that, Blackjack, and quite the conclusion to the match as well. Apart from what you happened to walk us through, it was most definitely a soft faith's match, and I think we knew that after a while. We knew that, and I think AS69 knew that as well. Let's be honest here. After a while, even they knew that. All right, this is whatever we are doing is clearly not working out. Very evidently so. We did not look at ourselves in a 6-0 scoreline walking out of a first half. It most definitely was a very good selection with the side choice of sorts from Soft Faith. They made sure that they don't let the side of attack get taken any advantage. That's what you expect out of this team, just just not having any room for that what if or maybe. Just no if moments from the side of Soft Faith. That is very good. That just happens to make me believe that if they did not have any if moments, all they had were very confident moments. All they had were very calculated moments, and well, this was one of those moments was most definitely not calculated, but still. You see no skill walk away with stuff like that. It's the positions that came out from the side of Soft Faith that really worked this round. Just this round in general and the crossfires. Look at that, getting the first kill off of it, but then the wall bang that followed through it. Though, it's these little things that really mattered. We saw this round also come out to the brink of almost losing it. Area 69 almost had it for themselves, but yeah, it's just these moments that we saw the side of Soft Faith outperform the entirety of the attackers. It was quite the match, man. It was quite the day to start overtime in the first match, and then we get to see a back-to-back 7-1, 7-1 cleanup. What a division, man! Division 3 has definitely has my attention and my excuse me there, my look forward to attitude, I guess, because most definitely I'll be looking forward to see what Division 3 brings more in the coming weeks. I'll be making some predictions of my own because this season I'm sure we are getting to see a very fun-filled Division 3. That's a promise. I think the players can make themselves because that's how amped they look. And that's how amazing today's start off in the matches were. Very powerful start of the day. There's no other way I would have rather wanted Season 4 to kick off with Division 3 so spectacularly. These teams making their spots known, making everybody else out there just to know that, hey, we're here and we're here to stay. We're here to fight. What a day, man. It's just something I made sure that we've got to appreciate walking into this. But something else I would really love is a change in the map pool. That's something I keep focusing quite a bit, people. But yes, you see me as a R6 fanboy. I come out to these matches. We see Clubhouse and Oregon getting played quite a bit. Somewhere in there, I myself feel a little sad that hey, I wanted to see this my favorite team play or this amazing team play on this map, but sadly, I'm going to see them play only on Oregon. So yeah, most definitely we'll be looking to see that plea maybe get taken seriously by the players and of the region and the teams by the region. Hopefully that variety of the map does come in. But hey, that is it, man. That was it, I guess. Three amazing matches we had for today. Blackjack, anything you happen to have to add to it?
I mean, at the end of the day, there isn't really much that hasn't already been said about these matches, other than the fact that Division 3 this season seems to be a lot more exciting than the previous seasons. I think that's something that all of us can agree on right off the bat, seeing the matches that we had 8-6 going into 2-7-1s, one of which was a lot closer than the 7-1 statistic will reflect. the other one not so much. But with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for myself, Blackjack, my co-host Foxy, and our admin Eisen, as we will be ending things off here, coming back tomorrow with Division 3 Day 2, going live on your screens at roughly the same 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. With all that being said, we will see you all tomorrow. Stay tuned and good night.
We head for the sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we are crashing down again, pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want, this time I won't take it to the heart. Cause I know we won't make it out, I've heard it all before. Yeah, tell me what you want, let me hear that I'm the only one. You know that we won't make it out, we've heard it all before. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright, so let's move on. 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 It's sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we are crashing down again, pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want, this time I won't take it to the heart. Cause I know we won't make it out, I've heard it all before. Yeah, tell me what you want, let me hear that I'm the only one. You know that we won't make it out, we've heard it all before. It's alright. Hey, it's alright. Hey, it's alright. It's alright. It's alright, so let's move on. 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 Alright, so let's move on.